I just choose to be vegan.
Yeah.
The English.
Well, they're just talking about it. Yeah, I think
So,
I see the point
I'll just touch upon
that Kat was trying to make though.
about
So
the
just,
nature thing, right? So do you think just because
That's
it's
hard
like
to know,
natural?
Well, okay,
It's
so
like
like,
protein,
so you're
so-
saying that a cow's life out in the wild would be better than one in a fence,
Well, I would just say that cows
where they would have to
Have a
deal
right.
with predators
I think it
and
becomes
things like
harder to
wolves or
justify.
coyotes.
Yeah, that
No, no,
cow's
no,
gonna
no,
get eaten by
no,
a
I'm
pack
not
of
saying
wolves
that, I'm not
in
saying
a
that.
week's
I'm just saying
time,
that
bro.
that cows should have a right to not be exploited and killed at the end of the day.
It's a want, right?
So not
Well, I
being
mean, if
sent
we don't
into
do
a
it, the
slaughterhouse.
wolves will.
If we
No,
don't
but
do it,
like,
then
if-
someone else will.
So I was saying that
If we don't do it, then life will do it itself.
Like at least,
And then that's
at
just a
least like
wasted
in
carcass right
captivity, it
there.
actually has a chance to survive and breed and pass on its genes. But like if cows were just released out into the wild, they'd be hunted down to extinction. They can't protect themselves.
yeah, but we wouldn't
They
release
literally
them.
can't. They have
in-
no means of protection at
I don't-
all.
We
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I don't think Kat said that they would. What do you think would happen, Kat? So
Okay, so as more
Do you
people go
would
vegan,
we release? Would we? Yeah.
yeah, we wouldn't release these animals in the wild because these animals don't exist in the wild. They're genetically forcefully bred into existence for our.
You wait,
consumption.
hold up. You think that cows don't exist in the wild?
No, I mean like these farm animals
I
that
would just go
that
ahead
we
and
breed,
Like
right?
domestic forms of cows.
Yeah, as in the
though.
billions of animals
Okay,
that we
well,
have.
yeah,
have
domestic
changed through
forms of cows,
domestication.
no.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
cows, normal cows living out in the wild, like being raised out in the wild, they are getting eaten too. They are also just, like, they are the food chain. They are literally the food chain to every other prey out there. Like, there's no, like, if it's not by us, it's going to be by somebody else. That's just how it is. It's the
I
food
mean,
chain.
yeah, there's plenty of forms
I
of
see
life that
wild
literally
cows in my
survive
house.
off of other forms of life. Like that's just how they
They're just-
operate. Like that's just
Kevin?
kind of like the cycle of things.
Eating.
And I feel like if
Well-
these cows are given life just to be fucking killed, right? Like they're being given a better life in a farm than they are out in the wild, regardless.
Okay,
So,
but also
it's
you
not
guys
like
have to
these
think
cows-
about other
It's not like these
things.
cows are having a bad time while they're living, and they're not aware that they're about to die. They don't have a thought
Well,
span. They're not
also not
thinking
aware
like,
that
I'm
they're
gonna
also
die
ruining
tomorrow
the earth
because they don't have a sense of time. They're like you said, they're
Oh,
like
fuck
dogs.
that.
They don't have a
They
sense
do
of
that shit
timing.
every day.
They don't know what time is. They just like they're told what they're told, and they just go back to grazing until they're dead.
I
But
like this guy.
just
Right.
because you don't,
Very
just
smart.
because these animals don't have a sense that high of comprehension, then it's. Do you think it's?
I
just
understand
enough
what
to,
you're
like,
saying.
kill
Yeah,
them?
no. If I was to put myself in the position of a cow, of course, if I had a sense of like what was happening, I would hate it. I would not like it. But fortunately for us, they don't have that kind of thought span. They can't. Like they literally
like
do
this
not
is a
have the
debate
brain
club.
function to do so.
So
But,
is this?
like if we don't kill them, and eat them, then like someone else will. It's supply, like you said,
I
it's
mean, I
earlier.
just
It's
joined
supply and demand. We have to like.
Conversation.
This is like for like
Yeah.
like we need the food. Like there's so many people out there that are starving still, and we have all this food that's being made.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be food out there, and we can't just rely on plants to do it.
We can actually
Yeah, plants are
solve
There's
world
one thing we
omnivores.
kind
hunger.
of
We
moved
need
away
food.
from that I wanted to pick up.
We can actually
Um,
solve
Say-
world
That's a
Okay,
hunger.
different. That's a different thing about people being
Yeah.
hungry. Like that's
Yeah.
a whole different thing.
These-
Like in
these-
the United States,
I mean,
just alone,
they-
we produce
the
so
thing-
much
the thing
waste.
is, I'm not
Plants
certain.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Just
like,
because
look,
we
just
are
because
picky
some
or we
animals-
don't
I've
like
been
it or we
listening,
just
it's
throw it away
because
because we
some
think it's bad.
animals
Well, that's
exist in the
wrong.
wild, you know,
I'm not
it's-
agreeing with that. I think that's wrong.
I
It
know,
shouldn't be
but the
happening
thing
like
is,
that.
I became
One
vegan
second,
because
just because some
I am an
species of cow
environmentalist and
exists in
having
the
so
wild,
many
it's no
cows
reason to
because
go
it's a supply and demand for
and
humans.
take other cows and
It's actually ruining the
harm
earth.
them,
It's
right?
causing carbon dioxide to
Like,
go
where-
into our
I don't
atmosphere, and it is
see how you're
ruining the
connecting
earth.
this to-
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
oh,
not just
Aaron,
methane
Aaron,
emissions.
can you get all
It's
the-
like habitat
all
destruction,
the
species
disease,
extinction,
like,
water
People
pollution.
don't just become
Jesus,
vegan
that is
because
the
they don't want
ugliest
to
fucking
eat
shit
meat.
I've
Like
ever
meat
seen.
is good,
Bro,
yes,
it's
because I
crazy.
have not
So
like I've
bright
also
as
eaten
fuck.
meat, but I am vegan now.
This thing,
Uh-huh.
this bright ass.
I think
What
for
is
me and for like I encourage people to be vegan, but if they, I'm not going to be like, oh, be vegan right now, or you're just a horrible person. I'm not
How's
going
it
to be
going,
like
Hope?
that. I'll encourage it.
Hey, yo, do you get all the
So
cheese?
I'll just touch on the supply and demand thing. So these industries only exist with our money, right?
You don't, right?
So as more and more people go vegan and like buy plant products instead, like the less animals will be killed, right?
They've been moving into that too. It's called the impossible meat or whatever it is. I don't
Yeah. So
mean,
we've got like, yeah,
respect.
we've got these like
but
vegan products.
At the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like you know, it's just an ease of access kind of thing. Like, it's easy to, you know, slaughter a bunch of animals and make meat so that we have food for, you know, everyone in the city.
Yeah.
It's just easier
Like
to do than,
convenience,
you know,
right?
producing and like growing a shit ton of like plants and stuff. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's the same thing.
No,
Okay,
we
but
could
I wanna-
actually
I
feed
wanna
it's
them
talk
just
about,
more.
like
easier.
the far end of like, okay, so here's the thing. So we completely stopped doing it entirely. We don't, like all people go vegan. So what do we do with the cows? Like we release them or
Okay, so as much
like,
as I would
where do they
love
go?
for a vegan world to happen overnight, it's never going to happen overnight, right? It's going to be a gradual
Yeah, it would have to
process.
go slowly, and
Yeah.
the less people that eat meat, the less and less they'll breed the animals, and the less
Yeah.
of meat
But
they'll
where
make
can we
because they don't
actually-
want to have. It will be
Well,
there will only
I
be
think
enough cows for a
if we're
normal
being fair to
population of
Kat, I
cows
think
if
Kat said
if people did
that
slowly
we would
over
just
time
stop breeding
like
them,
become
right?
vegan and stuff
They
like
would
that.
probably
Like it's
lower
not like
the
we would all
demand.
have the same
And
amount
I've
of
been listening
cows.
to
Like
the
no,
argument. It
like
does
they would
seem to
die
make sense
over
that if we
time,
just stop
and
breeding
just
them,
like
the
anything
population
else,
will drop.
and
So we're not
Your
even
mic
gonna
going
have
out
to
a
everything
lot.
would change.
Me?
No, her mic was doing like a robot voice. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Oh, sorry. Everything would just change
you're
over
good.
time.
Yeah. So
Like I
just
like
be
to
fair
like,
to
for me,
Right.
like
Kat's argument.
I'm okay
right?
with like people that eat meat and
Okay,
stuff
so
like that.
Let me
But,
ask
like-
you this. Let me ask your question. Let me ask
But
you a
like,
question
where do
here.
they go? Like
So you have
where do they go?
let's say you have a pet dog, right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay, without meat, how is that dog going to survive?
Well,
They
What do
need
you
meat
mean?
protein to
Damn,
survive.
that is
You
a
can't
banging question. I never
you can't
thought
sustain
that.
a dog without meat.
mm,
And
but,
yeah, you can give it proteins, but it needs
Wait, just
specific
Oh.
meat proteins to be able to
Specific?
balance its diet out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry,
yeah,
I-
I hear
I-
you, right?
Well, I mean, there's tons of predators that exist, but like,
Why are you
I still
saying
want to know.
No,
where
what I'm
cows go.
saying
Wait,
is,
just focus.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is out of the cows.
Wait.
This is the out of the cows problem. This is just meat in general,
Like,
all
nobody's
right?
explaining.
We produce meat
where
I
they're
know we're
gonna
all
go.
over the
so
place.
that
Wait,
we
we
can
need to.
create not just food for us, but food for other animals that need it. So where will they get their diets from? The ones that are
Because
you know,
that means
carnivores
Yeah, yeah,
that
let me just-
actually
yeah.
need
Kill 'em.
such proteins
like,
to
they would
survive.
just be hunted
Yeah,
down
I'll just
to
reply to that.
extinction without people.
So-
They can't survive without people taking care of them.
So like these animals, right? You know, cats, kind of obligate carnivores. They may need meat to survive, right? But does that justify
They do, yes.
you taking innocent animal life?
No, but
unnecessarily?
if I can't eat meat, then why would a cat be allowed to eat meat? Is the question. Like, it's already happening regardless. There's already animals being killed to produce meat for an animal. So what's the
okay.
difference between an animal eating meat and me eating meat?
So-
I'm an omnivore.
So-
I eat meat. I got what do you call those?
Why would I eat meat if I go hunting?
I got
for it?
those,
Does that mean just
what are those
everyone's
fucking
just
teeth
gonna go
called?
hunt for their own meat?
I got canines in my fucking teeth, right? So like, those are used to chew up meat.
Okay,
like
so
the-
I'll address the canines. So just because you have canines, right, doesn't equate to meat eating. For example, the largest mammal with the largest canines is the hippo, right? They're mainly herbivorous. Plus, do you think these
No,
other
they have
animals?
those for self-defense.
Yeah.
Then they have those for literally killing alligators and shit.
All right, yeah, for
They
self-defense.
they literally bite the heads off alligators.
Yeah. So even if these
not
animals
very
do
humane.
like things,
believe
right,
it.
do you think we can? Do you think
Yeah,
that
that
justifies
isn't
us
very
copying
humane.
them?
So if we are
Well-
not humane, then what gives wild animals out in the wild the right to be inhumane?
So do
You
you
see
think?
wolves
Do you
out
think
there
they
literally
need...
tearing apart their prey and like, you know, like tearing them apart and feeding them to their children. What part of that sounds humane to you?
Yeah, it's cruel, I know. But do you think they have to do it?
Yes, they do because they
think
have to
we
feed
have
their
to do it?
children. I would say yes,
Yes.
because we also need to feed our kids.
So do you think we can
Yeah,
survive
I'm
I
not
think
on
it was a
just
plants?
study of
I'm not
like
just
80%
I'm not gonna have a
of
baby and just feed
malnutrition
it plants its
children.
entire life. That seems
Yeah,
inhumane
no.
to it, and I think it should have a choice.
80% of malnutrition children in 2019 were fed on a vegan-based diet by their parents. 80%
Yeah,
of
that they're
children
fucking
became
miserable.
malnutrition.
Do you think
That
it's
is-
only
do you have a
vegan
source for
parents, or do you think it's like a rather problem
It's-
of bad
no,
parenting
It said,
instead of
it
veganism?
said 80. No,
I think
but
feeding
out
children,
of
your children, nothing
100%
but
of
vegetables
children,
is bad parenting. Yes.
Out of 100% of children who came in being malnutritioned into a doctor's office, 80% were written down to have been on a vegan diet. That clearly shows something
Okay,
about children being on a vegan diet.
I'm not sure
They
where
need
that stat
specific
is from,
proteins to grow.
but that to me
You
it
can
shows me
Google
that
it. It was posted by the New York
people
Times.
like there's bad parents out there. That doesn't necessarily mean a vegan diet is lacking. You know, because you've got the Academy of
children
Diets.
need
Well, the
meat.
diet was a vegan diet.
Okay,
You can
okay.
sustain your life off of just vegetables when you're an adult, when your body has fully developed and it is capable of digesting anything you want it to. But when you're a child, you have to have those meats in your body so that you can balance out those diets. Or else it's just like you're going to be malnourished.
Okay, what
And
is
the
the
child's gonna look
nutrition?
malnourished and it's
What
gonna
is
show.
the nutrient that I can get from a vegan diet?
Meat proteins.
And these are
Oh,
essential.
you're Pringling.
Yes, they are essential.
Yes, they are essential. There are so many.
Calcium, iron,
like,
omega-3,
Calcium is another
fatty
thing. You
acids,
need calcium as a
Vitamin
child.
Okay,
B12.
so do you think we can find these in plants?
No.
You could probably find
No, not really.
You could probably find some of them in
Maybe
plants, but
small
I don't think you
traces
can
of
find
it.
calcium, or you can't find a meat protein in a plant
Or
because
iron.
it's a plant, not meat.
Okay, so where do you think
It's just
these
how it is.
where do you think these animals get their nutrient from in the first place?
The earth.
Other animals.
That's okay. And there's a
As in the animals we eat, so cows, pigs, chickens.
Yeah, but cows are raised on a. They're not omnivores. They are like they're made to be vegetarians. It's completely different.
So where do you think they get their nutrients in the first place? Like all these animals.
Milk.
Are
We
you
provide
trying
them
to
the
tell me
nutrients.
because they eat
Oh,
grass
yeah, that's true.
that we can eat grass?
No,
But we can't
my
eat
point
grass,
is
our teeth
that
aren't built for it.
my point is that these animals
their
get all
nutrients
their
is transferred.
Now I'm tiny.
so my
Do you
point
guys care
is
about
It's
eating eggs or
completely
no?
different.
Hang on.
Do you care
let's
about eating
just
eggs?
Try
That's
and
Dude, don't eat
It's
eggs.
about
Those
purity,
are
it's a
living
cruelty
human.
issue.
Those are living things, dude. Those are living creatures
One
inside of
sec.
those
I
eggs.
don't
dude.
think an
Eggs
egg
aren't,
for
but no,
be that,
no,
like,
actually
they
eggs
would have to
aren't
come from a living
living.
chicken.
They're not living
Not anymore
chickens.
because they were
No, because they've never
is the
been
word?
mated. They're just eggs.
Yeah,
They've
they
never been
don't have to be
breeded
fertilized
with.
to lay an egg.
Because there's just a random
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
people, not
But still, no. The problem is that it would still be inhumane
yeah.
because it would be chickens being raised to lay eggs, which is the
chickens on a
problem,
farm
right?
being raised
No,
to
no,
make
the thing
eggs.
is,
So
I
it's
don't
not
have
like
a
we're raising them
problem
till
with.
they die of old age.
I don't have a problem with like with chickens. I just don't buy my eggs from the store because the chickens that do lay those eggs are shoved into tiny little cages with like 7 other chickens and are stomped to death and stuff like that. And like
Are
half
free-range
of
eggs not
the-
a thing where you're from?
I have my own eggs,
No,
but I don't
free-range
use them.
eggs.
Yeah, I have chickens.
Do you guys know what happens in the hatcheries of these chicks?
Yeah, I've worked there before. Pretty shit.
Yeah, so they basically grind up baby male chicks that don't lay eggs or grow big enough to be chickens.
Yeah,
To broiler chickens.
and then the roosters will grab their head and just cut it off. We'll just pull it off, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of cruel practices, but
I just don't
anyways,
like.
I'll just
I like me personally. I don't eat meat because I don't choose. Like I just choose not to. Like I don't care if anyone else wants to eat meat. I just don't agree with the whole industry on how they take care of their pets. That's my argument.
I just
like,
really hope a wolf doesn't go out in the woods today and start pulling apart another innocent creature. That'd just really
No
suck.
fucking cap. No fucking
It's
cap.
happening right now.
Yeah, but
Oh my
so we
God,
can't do anything about that, right?
In a field.
But when you buy
Yeah, but
Yeah.
animal
raised in a
products,
field
you pay
and get my
for.
head,
Well, we
like,
could do
cut
something
off
about it. We could
while
go
I'm
poaching.
Incapacitated.
Gucci.
which is wrong.
How are you gonna get the food if you have
Yo.
But also at the same time, there are things we could do about it. You know, we could do anything about anything. It's just a matter of like whether it's moral or not.
Like where do all the
Little
cows go?
Rodney.
Because we're not just gonna like just like raise cows for like.
So suffering in the
if we let 'em
wells,
out,
right?
Like if we just release cows out to the wild.
So we
I don't
don't
think the
cause
cows-
directly
I think cows
suffering.
suffer a much worse
They
fate
don't.
outside
the
of
cows
the fence than
literally
they
do
do
not
in
have the
it.
mental capacity to care about things like this.
But they do care when they are sent to the slaughterhouse, right?
Yeah,
They care
trust
for
me,
the
they
5
I don't
seconds
think-
they're
I
left alive.
actually-
Really
actually-
aware until it's too late.
I don't think they care. I don't think that they care that they're.
They're not smart enough to
by
care.
wolves and shit.
they can't.
Yeah.
I think
Like,
they
I think they
They don't
care
read
if
the
they're being
signs
on the
abused,
houses, they
yes,
walk
but
towards
I
the
don't think
door.
they care
Yeah.
if they're going to, like, if they are about to die because they don't know. It's just like humans. Like, we care when we're being abused, but if we're gonna die and we know, like, and we know
I'm
about
just
it, or if
confused
we
'cause
don't,
I've
like,
seen
like that's what we're
vegans-
doing every single day. We're just living until
Anyone
we
could
die.
correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, I've seen vegans that have
talking
been
about?
And
vegan
so,
for
like, but like
5
we're
or
gonna
10
care
years.
if we're being
I'm just
abused.
not
That's what I don't
understanding
like. Is just how
why
they're being
someone-
treated before
Like,
they
yo,
die
there's
or
some
whatever.
girls.
I'm just trying to be fair
There's
to
some girls that like being
Cat's point, 'cause
abused.
I
There's
don't,
some
I don't
weird
feel
girls,
like
bro.
people have been trying to hear out the point.
Oh my god, that's not what the fuck we're talking about, but
Look,
alright.
if you don't need to cause
now.
the suffering of animals, right? Then it's
Like,
unnecessary.
I agree with her being vegan and stuff like that. I'm not the kind of person that likes
Right.
conflict. I just don't care what people do. You can do whatever you
No,
want.
I'm not saying
But I
she
do
makes a
encourage-
valid point.
there's
She makes
humane
valid
ways to
points,
raise
but
animals,
I
that's
just
what
like
I'm
my
saying.
opinions
If
differ.
we
It's
switch
just,
away from
just
slaughter
the way-
houses
Go, whoa,
and
boys.
It's
like
on
industrial
different from each
size,
other.
you know,
And that's unfortunately why,
animal
like, you know,
shelters,
veganism never is going to
and
be a
move
full
towards
thing.
a more like,
Because
you know,
it's just
fenced in
people like me
farm
who like
field
to eat
type
meat, and there's
situations
going to be people out there who
where
you
it's
just
a lot
can't
more
change the minds
humane
of.
and they're
I
not
mean, in
suffering.
Because like
reality,
I've
I think that's
I've
fine.
eaten meat
Like,
before.
she's
Like
literally
me
upset
growing
about
up
the
as a
fact that, like, we
child, I
killed them,
didn't eat
but
meat
they
because my
live-
mom
they
did
live
put
a
me
full
on a
life and
vegan
then
diet.
die,
But when my mother passed
a
away,
clean
my
death
dad
to a
because my
farmer.
dad
Hang on,
wasn't
hang on.
vegan.
Of a
But he
fulfilling
did
life
eat
for a
meat,
cow
and so like
than
I
being
did
sent
eat
out
meat
to the
for a
woods
couple of
to
years,
be,
and now
you
I'm
know,
just choosing to be
I see
vegan
two
again
options
just
here with-
because of the
with-
environment
with
and
with your
how
values,
they
I
treat
see
them.
two
the day being
much better
vegan.
options than what you're offering. So the
So
first
do you,
option here.
do you guys still think that you can't be healthy on a vegan diet?
From the south, I can't do that.
Because I grew up with
I
I
could
grew up
definitely
pretty
be
good.
healthy on a vegan diet. Like at my age, like I got the body built to be on a vegan diet. But a child that's like
different for
2
children,
years
though.
old, no, they can't be healthy on a vegan diet.
Because I
Do you
looked it
have
up while
any
we were talking
evidence
about
for
it,
that?
and so far everything's saying that.
He's looking it
Yeah,
up right now.
I just I looked it up.
Okay, okay.
It's weird.
So-
It's my
Seems so
name
far
on
everything has been saying that it's
Wait, is this
pretty unhealthy to put a child on a vegan diet.
Is that like anecdotal evidence, or is it literally
It doesn't even
like, a
sound
study?
right. Why would you put a
I
child on
mean, if it
vegan?
comes, I mean, if it. I mean,
I mean,
they're not
unless
even
if they
saying
had some
that, like,
kind
a
of
doctor could
milk
advise you not to smoke
resource. Like,
because
I
it causes
mean,
lung
maybe
cancer. You can still
vegetarian,
smoke,
where
but
they can
what's
still
the
have
source?
eggs and
What's your
milk and
source?
stuff like
on it.
that, but
That
we
would
don't
be
need
acceptable.
meat.
What's your source?
Because-
Yeah, a
Because
vegetarian
you can
diet
get
would
What's
be
the
nice.
website
that you
name?
need. You get the proteins that you need out of eggs.
What's the website name?
Like
that you
me
can't
growing
get
up
off
as a
of being a
child,
vegan.
I wish
So-
that my mother gave me milk or eggs growing up as a
Is it like
child because I was a very
healthline.com or
unnourished
something,
child,
like
and I do
blog
agree with
article?
that statement. And I will,
'Cause,
like,
like, I don't
when
think a blog
when
article is
I
gonna
ever
cover
have a
it.
kid, I would put them on a vegetarian diet, and when they get to the age
Like,
where
I'm
they
finding a
want to
ton of
know what
things
they
to say,
want, then I'd be like, okay,
against
you
it,
can
but
have a
nothing
normal
seems to
whatever
be,
you want to eat, you know? You can eat
going
meat,
towards
I
so-
don't care.
the vegan diet
Yeah.
for children.
Right. So if
Yeah, but that's
100,000
just like, that's the point. Like, is
One- one sec.
veganism
We have
is
to
much
talk about
different
this
from
point.
like vegetarianism.
Right, we have
you
to
can
talk
sur-
about this
You can
point. Like,
raise
we
a
have- we
kid on
can't
on a vegetarian diet because they got the milk, they got the eggs, they got all the essential nutrients they need. But
So
they
what-
can't get those
what
meat
is
proteins
the
off of being a
essential
vegan.
Hang
It
on,
just
one
doesn't
sec.
work.
One
What
sec.
what
One
is
sec.
the
'Cause we're
essential
hung up on this
nutrients
point.
because of
Meat
Because it's
protein.
kind of hard for you to get calcium and stuff like that, and because you can get
I'm just saying
proteins
we're
from
hung
like
up on this
nuts
point
and
here.
stuff like that, which
And
is
if
perfectly
someone gets
fine.
proteins,
But like
but there is
but I
essential
feel like
nutrients.
we need to
whenever
have
a
some
point
kind
doesn't
of
get addressed, you bring
some
up
kind
another
of
point.
calcium for your
So,
bones,
like, if
especially
we're gonna
growing up
bring
as a
up
kid,
points
because
and-
I did not like. I had a bunch of
and
problems with my bones growing up as a
not
kid, and
talk
that
about
actually
the criticism,
came back
then, like,
into me
what are we
being
even
very
talking about?
unnourished as an adult.
I really like
Choo-choo!
It's just gonna
So
Yeah, I would just
So,
ask, like,
so-
don't you think
How
that
dare
you
you?
can get
Yeah.
calcium from plants?
You're doing it because of them.
Right now, I'm reading.
I
It's not-
I
it's not
personally
as
don't
much
think.
So, like,
Do you,
Harvard
do you,
Medical
do you
School
know
is
what
putting,
plants?
what
Like
they
just
wrote
like
about it,
question.
and
I'm
so
not
far
like
they're
saying
is
you
that,
like.
You're hurting
there's a
plants.
lot of
I've never
major
heard
things
of
that is
I've never
important for
heard
child
of
growth
a plant that did have
would be
calcium.
missing from their diet.
Oh, plants have fillings
Like
too.
iron, calcium,
There's also no meat proteins
you know,
in
B12.
peanuts. There's different kinds of proteins, and meat proteins are
and-
essential.
Can you not
Yeah,
just supplement
you
B12?
can-
it's a lot
up,
for your
Cassie?
But you can
immune
supplement
system
B12,
and
right?
your organs as well.
So like many
have
of
no
the leafy
clue. Let me
green
know.
I can
vegetables.
help with
What I'm saying is
so
that
if you're
calcium.
vegetarian,
Supplement
then
them
it's
with
great
what?
because eating eggs
Yeah,
is a great
a sub-
substitute for that.
A supplement,
But if
a
you're
B12
vegan,
supplement.
it's almost impossible to get the thing for your organs.
Yeah, I could eat a fucking, you know, I could take
to,
pills for
you know,
vitamin D, but
properly,
at the end of the
like,
day, if I just
build up
eat a
as
fucking
a
orange
child.
once in a while,
Vegan people
I'll be
are gonna
fine.
break
As an
easily.
adult, sure.
Wait.
Yeah.
No,
As an
you-
adult,
you-
can
you
perfectly
should-
live
Wait,
off a
As
vegan
far as
diet.
I'm
But I
aware,
don't think you should
most
give a child, a young
most people
child,
are
a
deficient in
diet.
vitamin D.
Why
I think
not?
a guy should take a vegan diet.
Why
I
not?
think a male should take a vegan diet.
Why
A
not?
male.
Why not?
Do you have Google open?
Wanna show me?
Actually, a lot of males
Yeah,
do a vegan diet
Yeah.
because it actually helps with a lot of things.
It's
Google
actually
Academy
more-
I think a lot
Nutrition
of
and Dietetics.
athletes and
vegan.
stuff do vegan diets because it's
That's what
actually
I'm
really
looking at.
good
Yeah.
And
for
this looks like
your,
it's
your muscles and stuff like
over
that. But if you're an
100,000
adult, in my
credited
opinion,
vegetables.
Lactic acid
These are
buildup and all
people
that
who
kind of shit
actually
if you're
work
vegan.
yeah.
as
If you're
their
an
job
athlete.
to tell you.
So if you
what
go
to be
vegan,
fine.
you're
What do you? What,
I'm not even vegan, and like,
Okay, so
I,
I'm looking up
I'm
the
not gonna shit
Academy
all
of
over the
Nutrition
vegan diet because it has a lot of fucking benefits.
Vegan,
I like
right?
the
So,
black.
like-
as an adult, it would be
Is
perfectly
this for children or is this for
reasonable me to
adults?
try.
Because I'm not saying anything about
But
like,
I'm
when you're
not
an adult,
blue,
that's fine, but
Yeah,
raising
exactly.
a child
So
on
it
a
says-
vegan diet is different.
It looks
So,
like
okay,
white.
so when you go on a
What I'm
vegan diet,
reading right now,
right,
it's
you're
saying
getting no
vegan
cholesterol.
diets
There's
are
no
suitable
cholesterol
for
in
all
plants.
stages
There's
of
no
the life cycle.
less
That's what their
saturated
claim is.
fats,
Yeah.
trans
And this
fatty
is over
acids,
100,000
heme iron,
professionals.
IGF-1s, like natural occurring hormones
So it
that
seems to me
exist
like
in these
it's
animal
going a
products.
little bit-
So you're cutting all that
Yeah,
out,
right.
right?
like,
I didn't know you
And
were
plus you're getting like
here.
these
Like, the whole points
antioxidants,
were hung up on
antioxidants,
the
you
idea
get
that you can't
fiber,
survive
you get
without
Okay,
animal
I just
products.
looked
like
in the
plants
corner. I
have
was like,
the
oh my gosh,
nutrients,
Garrett's
right?
here.
It's not like there's
They're talking about being vegan.
it's not like plants have nothing, right?
Yeah.
I did see another fantasy avatar the other
It's
day.
not like
actually.
I'm a,
She's
I'm a
saying she
full out
thinks that
like
being vegan all the
carnivore.
time is
I'm like,
okay, but I don't think
I
raising a
eat,
child on a
I eat a
vegan diet is very
healthy amount
healthy.
of both.
Maybe a
Like, I eat
vegetarian
salad
diet,
every
but
now
not
and
a
then.
vegan diet.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
sorry, what
actually
did you
is
say?
his
Yes.
avatar.
And she thinks that everyone should be vegan.
Sorry,
and
I'll get a
she's
bit
really
more.
pressuring on people.
So a lot of people who like still eat meat also eat vegetables. That's like the biggest difference, I think, is we're still getting the benefits
Yeah,
from
so-
vegetables, but not like the meat if you back out of
But I hate that
meat
this
completely
this,
kind of
this
scenario.
little area. People are like,
Yeah, I suppose like
vegetables are so good. I'm
if
like,
you're
I
like
yeah.
fully on meat, then you transition, and then you feel like a lot better because you're cutting out like cholesterol and like trans fats and all that.
What vegetables?
But like I'll just
It depends on what meat, but I definitely get, like I 100% agree because not everyone's gonna be eating perfect meat, you
I
know.
love zucchini. It's so
yeah.
good.
But even if it was like if it was still grass fed, you're still getting these like natural hormones, right?
Lettuce.
You know, like stuff you don't really need. Well, and you probably don't want.
Yeah.
So, and like I'll just quote a study right here, like the largest organization of dietitians, which is the Academy of Nutrition, Academy of Dietetics and Nutrition, with over 100,000 dietitians, right, and not even a vegan study, not even a vegan organization, released a massive peer-reviewed study stating that a well-planned vegan diet is suitable for all life stages, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, and for athletes as well. And this is backed up by the British Dietetic Association, you know, the NHS, the Canada something association. You know, so it's not like the science is not out there. It's like these big organizations have already concluded that yes, if you like plan your vegan diet, you know, obviously
Yeah.
like avoid the junk food.
It's not.
I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
how
you're gonna
the,
do-
the issue is it's not as convenient for a lot of people, and people are just lazy. Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm perfect. Like I'm a very lazy person. I'm not gonna be happy if I have to like eat a specific amount a day to like keep
Yeah,
it in
sure,
one.
sure.
But if we're like raised, like if we're told from a certain age, like after we get all the stuff we need, and we're grown up, and we've been taught throughout that time, like, oh, you need to eat this certain amount, and you'll be healthy, and like this way the world will get better and all that kind of stuff. I definitely think it will lead to a lot of change, but we're
Yeah.
gonna have to do it very slowly.
So like education, right? Like teaching people about all this stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm like I love to talk about it, and I'm happy to talk about it, right? Like as long as people have an open mind, and you know, I'm willing to have a civil
Well, I mean,
conversation.
I've definitely learned something.
Thanks for being open-minded. I'll just touch on the
Yeah.
convenience thing. Right. So yeah, I agree. You know, it's very convenient right now. Animal products literally everywhere. But do you think convenience can justify like the slaughter of innocent beings?
I will.
Definitely not, but nobody thinks about that. Like, it doesn't go through my head. When I pick up like a hamburger from the supermarket, I'm not like, oh, this cow was killed for this burger. What I think is, oh, what am I gonna have on this burger? And I think we need to teach people a lot more about where their food's coming from, and that'll maybe push a lot more people into changing up their diets, even if it's a little bit.
Yeah. So if people like, for example, like seen the slaughterhouse footage, right? Seen what the animals go through, how they get killed, maybe they'll think twice.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think people need to be more educated, especially in America, about where their food like is coming directly from. Like everywhere else is still bad, but I feel like America, they kind of just take in their food and like just don't care at all how like. Because the slaughterhouses in America are some of the worst around the world. Like they are squished in on like metal grates and stuff, and it's horrifying.
Yeah. Of
So I
course.
definitely think they need to show people that.
So yeah, I think they're the largest consumption of animal products. I'm not too sure, but yeah, you're right about like US being like this horrible, you know, country that perpetuates these factory farms. But it's not just like one country, right? It's literally the whole world that view animals as commodities, or like view these specific animals as commodities, right? Instead of like just the sentient living beings that they are. You know, they suffer just like us. They suffer just like our pets at home. So it's like if we wouldn't do this to one animal, and we would to another, then I would just ask people, like, what is the true difference between these animals in their capacity to suffer?
Yeah, I mean, that is something I 100% agree with you on. Like, that people definitely need to realize, like, the things they're eating is coming from a living thing, and that living thing maybe had a terrible life just because, like, you wanted a sausage and all that kind of shit, you know? And it's like, I definitely believe that, if people were put out in scenarios where they like were able to see these animals out in the wild and all that kind of stuff, they'd definitely appreciate them more.
Yeah, because everyone like just thinks that cows, pigs, chickens, they're just these dumb animals. But you know, like cows are very maternal beings. They really care for the children. And in the dairy industry, they pull these calves away, and they literally bellow for weeks on end, right? They literally cry out for their
I heard a study where it's like cows can have best friends, and that kind of fucked with my head.
Yeah, exactly. And then when like baby chicks hatch, they can recognize like 15 like other baby chicks' faces or something like that. You know, so so these animals like they're not like totally stupid, right? They're just like just like cats and dogs, just like other animals, right? They think, they feel, they suffer, they avoid pain, you know, they like to move about, etc., etc. So like they're just like us in so many ways, but the only difference is like, you know, we're smarter. We've built like great things, you know, we've got a complicated voice box, but it's like we have so much similar, but we still like to separate ourselves from these animals like so far, and we're like so detached,
Yeah.
and we never put ourselves in the animal's position, and that's basically how this all starts. Basically, we just think we have the right to oppress. Yeah.
That's not
Negative feelings, black, white feelings, not happy.
What?
Good.
No, more like I'll use this one when I'm feeling like dark and cloudy.
So like, I'll just ask you. Oh wait, I can't hear you. Sorry.
And then the other one, if you know, I'm bright and cheery.
I think something happened here, right?
How about that?
Yeah.
Might have been drunk.
Okay. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like, it's saying, like, we need to get rid of the separation from, like, where we think, like, our food is just food, you know? Like, I definitely think we need to realize, like, they're animals and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm gonna let you get your final statement in, but my headset is very low battery, so...
Yeah,
so
no
I've
problem.
been checking it constantly.
Just the final question is like, what's if you could live a life without harming any animals, would you do it?
I think so. Yeah. If I could be in a situation where I could just live off the land and like not have to hurt any animals, I'd definitely be happy doing that, 100%. But I think within like definitely not my kids, but like maybe my grandkids and all that kind of stuff. I definitely think they'll be in a situation where they'll go through their life without ever having to harm an animal, kind of shit.
Yeah, maybe in the future that we'll realize that, you know, animal abuse is wrong. So like my final question then is like, what's the real barrier stopping you from veganism?
Nope, no vegans, I guess. Hey, are you a vegan?
I think it's like
You a vegan?
the situation. I'm not vegan though.
Yeah, I can talk to you later. Wait, just give me 1 second. Wait, sorry?
No, I want to
Like, I think it's just how I've been raised kind of scenario. Like, my granddad owns a butcher shop. I've been told like, oh, eat up your meat and it'll make you big and strong. I don't really think it's how society's told me like, you need like this and it's good for you and like you love it, and I do like it. Like, I don't really love eating meat. Like, I'm happy when I have it, but obviously if I was in a situation where I didn't need it, or I didn't like I had other options all the time. Yeah, like that person just said, if I had the option, because my family isn't rich, I can't afford the best of vegan meats. So I think that is also a big jump, just convenience and how I've been raised.
Yeah. So like cultural norms, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we need to change the cultural norm about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
definitely.
if I told you like vegan products are actually the cheapest in the market? It's just because of government subsidies making meat cheaper.
I'm gonna cry.
So
like,
things
I'm
like
gonna be so
beans, lentils, rice,
that wouldn't
pasta.
surprise me.
Oh yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. That sounds very true, to be honest.
Yeah. So it's just because, like, you know, back in the day, it used to be only the rich could afford animal products, and it became like a Sunday roast.
Yeah.
And then now it's literally every day almost for many. So yeah, the cheapest things in the markets are like beans, lentils, rice.
Anyways, how has your day been?
It's been good. I'm just waiting for my class for uni to start. I'm just killing time at the moment. I woke up really late. Stuff. How about you?
The criticism.
Wait, did you guys leave?
It's been good.
Right,
Yeah.
just so
That's all I can
address the
really say.
criticism.
I just did school today, and then now I'm just trying to fucking do this, and it's pissing me off.
I just don't understand why you're not listening to the criticism.
You said? Sorry.
That's okay.
I told you all my clothes are
This
secondhand.
thing is just so oh fuck, I got it.
Disappeared.
Wait, you finished?
No, I got it in the hole.
Right.
Right. So like, just
thought.
right, but like, I really feel like you're just not giving animals enough value. Like, if you buy a computer, you buy it once. It's not like you're going out and killing, right? Like, do you know how much suffering? One sec, because like you clearly haven't seen slaughter footage.
Chatty,
Like,
did
have
you?
you?
Have you seen footage of child labor?
Did you listen to all of
Yeah,
that? What
I'm
was it?
against it.
Have you seen
Like,
the footage
do
of
I?
people work 20-hour days and sleep in a fucking bunk and they're all guys?
Yeah.
That was a long ass
Right.
conversation.
So like again, you're just appealing to hypocrisy.
I said that I'm fine, dude. I don't like slaughterhouses.
You're.
Slaughterhouses are fucking shitty. But I'm saying
Right, so you shouldn't support them.
This right now?
You have easy alternatives. Look, it's literally just grabbing for another product on the shelf. I can't deal with this guy. I rage.
What's he saying?
I'm done. I can't.
Is he? Wait, what's he saying?
I can't. Forget it. He literally just is incapable of addressing what he's talking about.
Oh, I get it, this one. Oh, just nobody can tell because I have.
The other guy said he would kill someone if they hit a dog. And he's saying, oh, go ahead and throw the cows in the gas chamber.
Yeah, I know, right? They just changed their act as when we brought up animal suffering, as in farm animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got out of that conversation.
Yeah, I don't.
I think that other guy.
I don't know. It was.
Quite receptive.
What cell phone? Where?
And actually do it.
I can't think of where to get.
Yeah, I think you did really well though.
Thanks. Yeah, they kept cutting me off like, what's to be respectful, but they apply to futility, they apply to nature.
Yes.
In my personal opinion,
you know, humane appeal to human.
There's just too many people.
Yeah, it was actually chaos.
I'll find another room. Hang on. Do you still want to keep going?
I don't know if like anyone's interested in talking. There seems to be like a explosion of.
It's hit and miss. It's definitely hit and miss.
It's just fine.
It's hit and miss. So sometimes you'll find people who want to talk. Sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of generalize a lot of that over here. I'm not holding it against them. It was just kind of a weird conversation we had. So I was talking about how they were vegan and stuff. I was like, alright, I'll refuse drinks. And then like they ordered fish, and I was like, hold up, there's something. There's something
I
not
don't know
right.
if you want to keep playing.
They're just eating the fish. Like, no, I wouldn't eat these. Fish isn't meat.
I'll be back in a minute.
it starts to
I
think seep into interference with like economics, politics, and it just starts leaking
How should I wait to draw the line?
And
I mean,
you know,
this guy in
that's why
particular is
I'm
Sunset orange.
Oh, I thought you said... I said black first, and I said if you don't think that's a color, then the second would be sunset orange.
Well, black is not a color. Black is a shade. It's not really what you think. It's what the fact is. But like.
No, it's a color. Why would it not be a color? It's a color!
Because it's a shade. It's a shade. Why do you keep going behind me?
Why do you keep changing spots?
To the fucking child labor law, like child slaves in China.
Well, no, it's like I said, it depends on...
It's the same argument.
Yeah, but it also depends on where you buy the meat from.
I mean, honestly,
if you buy it from like a free-range local farm, blah blah blah, with like like the beef.
I'm saying both arguments are dumb.
Like a cow with like free pasture and crap like that.
Like I'm saying that like it's a dumb thought process because like
I'm supporting
the alternatives aren't really bad.
The same idea can be applied to fucking
chicken.
Fuck! I just had it on my mind.
Like 100 into a small tiny space.
What's the argument that's bad?
Green is a very pretty color.
I mean, one's gonna definitely be
okay, so we're having this whole thing, and he was like, oh well, it's like you're having like an inconsistency with your mold thing because it's like oh well, you think that like slaughtering like for no reason is bad or whatever, and then but at the same time it's like you eat or whatever, and then I said to him, I was like, well, do you own a cell phone? Do you own clothing? Do you own any form of product? Because most likely that was made by child labor, right? Like child slaves in another country or people that are working 20 hours a day in a factory.
Yeah, but how does that
and
then
sleeping in a bunk
justify
in the same
you
factory.
paying for animals to be killed?
That's what I mean. Like, if you
Just because someone else
But
does
how does that
something.
justify you? Do you own a
anything
computer or
into safe
phone?
range.
Do
Well,
you use
yeah.
it, right?
But I bought that
Yeah.
before
I mean, how do you justify using it?
What, you're saying that I should just
Before
like
what?
sell it?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that, like, in the same mindset as, like, you don't
if
have to
someone
use it.
wants
You
to be
could
actively worried about it, then
Yeah.
live without it, right?
Yeah, I could live with
You
it.
should be able
So
to
why would you buy that product knowing that it was made by child slaves? Do you support that?
No, I don't support it. Of
I
course
mean,
not.
nothing will change. Like, while like the laws
Well,
are
then
as they
you
are.
shouldn't be using it. In the same way that I shouldn't be eating meat. It's the same. It's the same argument, though, right? I shouldn't eat meat because it contributes to the slaughtering of animals.
Okay.
In the
So-
same way that me buying a cell phone is literally paying those companies to keep forcing child labor, like slavery.
Okay, yeah, I'll address that. So when I buy like technology, right, there's no
God,
guarantee that that's made from slaves or child slaves or whatever.
Yes, it is.
And wait,
Yeah,
what?
I mean, it's pretty.
It is.
Yeah, pretty much it is.
It's all
yeah.
made in China and inside of sweatshops ran by 12-year-old
So-
I mean,
children.
who do you get your phone from? Do you get what kind of phone do you use?
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, I know, but it's about the alternatives to me. Like,
Google.
My what? Ball?
I can't think
Yeah,
of
then
like
it was made
again,
in China.
living in Spain, have a lot of ordering options.
My ball?
But that doesn't guarantee.
Yeah,
That doesn't
Where else they use child
guarantee
labor.
there's
Most of that dish is still gonna be
there's
protein
unethical.
That doesn't necessarily guarantee anything.
Have any of you
alternatives to it. I mean, like,
I mean,
have any of
the
you
lab-
seen
Does,
Multiple
though.
people
The-
make
That's how,
Promised
multiple
that's how those
things.
things are made.
that shit was fine.
What?
Well, that's
I'm
like
all
me
for,
saying if it's
alternatives
made in
to it.
Russia,
For me,
then
it
it's
doesn't
explosive.
really matter. Like, I feel like if we want to
No, it's not at all similar.
The animals
What I'm saying is that, like, literally
fucking
computer
mutated
chips
over
and
the
stuff like
course
that,
of, like,
these
the
things that
10,000
are
years it's
expensive,
been
like computer
around,
parts and shit like that,
then
are
the
made
best
in
thing to do is,
factories
like,
that
to
have
stop
child
leaving them
laborers
and breed at some point,
and people
because
that are
they're not
working
gonna
20-hour
live
shifts
out in the wild
because it's the only way to cheaply make those products. Like, if you try running a factory like that in America, it's not going to work
until
because
then, you'll need
the
alternative
price
sources.
of the product would go up, excessively to the point where nobody could afford it.
Okay, so are you saying
That's
you're
why they're all
against?
almost exclusively made there.
So are you saying you're against technology, creation of technology because it's unethical?
No, I'm not saying that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I eat food, and I can say, like, I understand that slaughterhouses are unethical, but I still eat food in the same way that I still own a cell phone. But what I'm gonna say is that, like, I'm not gonna have someone tell me it's like, oh, well, you need to drop meat because of this. And they're like, well, if you're gonna say that to me, then it's like, well, then you need to not use cell phones. You need to not buy your clothes from, child labor factories. You need to.
But I can.
Most products are made that way.
Okay, so I can guarantee my products are made ethical if I just do some quick research, right? I bought these products before I started thinking about ethics and stuff. So, and there's no guarantee that I exploited children or,
You're gonna be able to find a computer that's made in a. You're gonna be able to find that? Because I don't think you can. I genuinely don't think you can. I can't think of any time I've ever heard of a
At the end of the day, what are you gonna do about
being made.
it? You gotta charge into China and fucking put a stop to
That's
it?
what I'm saying.
Like,
No, I know exactly. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Are you just gonna stop using technology? Like, you can. Like, by all means, you can go out, live in a a hut in the woods and eat off of fish, and whatever else is on the land that you can get. But like, and there you go. You would be living a life, free of moral dilemma.
But just okay, so just because we cause some suffering, right? Just because we cause some suffering in our lives, does that justify us to do the maximum amount of harm?
You would literally just see the animal out there.
Well, I mean, are you gonna get rid of your computer and
I don't think
phone?
there's anything inherently wrong with
Are you gonna drop technology?
But
Technology
this is
almost
not causing.
exclusively
This is
made
not
through
causing.
child labor.
Me using technology is not causing anyone suffering directly. Right?
Yes, it does, because in the same way that me buying a burger is contributing to the profits of a slaughterhouse,
Yeah,
you
so
buying a phone or a computer is contributing to the profits of our labor.
I don't buy a computer.
so wait, does that mean that
every
me
day.
texting you on Discord is going to hurt a child?
know what that is, we could start with something like, do you think that it's right to
Huh?
kill a
well, in a way, you bought the phone, right? Did you pay them? Did they make money off that child? Did your money go towards
they make
companies
Discord?
that use child labor? Huh?
Let's say.
Did they make Discord?
No. I'm not talking about Discord. Discord's an app. I'm talking about a product, which is a
But it's
phone
made in
or a
China now,
computer.
isn't it?
From a
What?
I forgot the word.
The phone or the
Like for
computer,
me,
yeah.
it's a logic of like.
That's what I'm
you
saying,
take
buying
something
the
extreme
computer.
or you take something to like the societal
That
norm.
didn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
If it doesn't work for like the society you're trying to sustain.
Okay, so I'm just saying like
but
me
a productive
using
way, then
technology,
no.
right,
So, like, murder for pleasure
is
probably not
is
a great
not
idea.
directly harming someone.
Um,
And I only buy technology
Well,
like
did you-
once,
I mean,
right?
did you buy the
situation
technology?
you're in, like, if you're-
Yeah, yeah, I bought it myself.
Oh no, I can't justify
I mean,
the
I think
medical pleasure
so.
thing.
I
But if
mean,
you're
But I
like
only
a
buy it
famine
once,
with no
right?
way to source out
You're
food,
still
Compare that
contributing.
to, like, for example, you buying animal products
Right,
like
who
3
gets to
times a
food and
day,
who not,
or
right?
you know, or
Because
once a
I
week
think
or
the
whatever.
extremes, and when you look at society as a whole,
And
we
that's,
don't really, for the most part, have a thing where we're
like
making a
guaranteed
live or die
If I
decision
wanted
on
to,
every
death
day.
to
if I wanted to
sentient beings.
Well,
directly
think about it. If
harm
we all
somebody, I
stopped
would go to
buying
China
cell phones and
myself.
computers,
Actively
then the
contributing or
factories
doing to
wouldn't be able
society that's
to,
even positive or negatively
wouldn't be
impacting
making
you.
them, would they?
I mean, you can say
Just like if we all stopped buying meat, they wouldn't be producing meat. If we all stopped buying
I'm
phones and
sensing a
computers,
lot of
they wouldn't be
flaws in
producing
this
them.
argument.
Yeah, because okay.
There is. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of flaws in the argument. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, so are you saying like,
those flaws?
are you saying like exploitative labor
I'm saying
is
that
the
the
same
argument is
as
the
like
same.
animals being forced to their deaths?
There's not too much difference between them.
Yeah, in some
like
cases
mass,
worse. I mean,
farming,
would you rather
food
be
and
a
stuff, or,
cow
like,
in a
destroying
field,
whole things to make farms and shit?
or would you
I mean,
rather
the
be
No, but
a
that's not what
child worker
happens.
working
Like,
20 hours a
you
day?
know the cow
inherent
in the field.
has
That's
an
literally
inherent
a
ethical
fantasy. It
goodness
does
to
not
it.
happen because
Everything has a cost.
99%
no, I mean,
of our
it is possible, but I'm
product.
saying,
to where your standards lie doesn't mean
but
that
both
there's
are
a whole
awful.
spectrum below it where people would
Like, just
disagree
because
with.
one is slightly less moral than the other doesn't mean.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
anything.
neither are
Both
justified, of
awful.
course.
Are you trying to
Both are
say that
wrong.
child labor is
at least
less
for me,
is
what I'm
is
doing
more
with my
morally
life, is that
ethic than
Well, I'm
slaughterhouses?
not sure. I'm not sure to give that
So,
judgment,
like,
right? But I'm
'Cause
saying
I
they're
mean, that's a
both
pretty shitty
unethical.
stance to take, to be honest.
Everything has a cost.
Okay, so they're
Like,
both
in theory,
unethical, right?
everything could be better,
But
right?
what does that
Right.
have to
That's
do
true.
with like you
I don't
paying
think
for
so.
animals to be
If I
killed?
could-
Like you can still stop that and still be
Wait, but
against
deal in
exploitative
absolute, like,
Right, in
labor.
the same way that
Like,
you don't need to use a
everything
computer or
has,
a
like,
phone
an
or buy a
inherent cost
computer
to
or
it,
phone,
depending on
right?
the perspective you take
Yeah,
on
but
it.
me
Like a lot of
using
people
my
buy
computer
computers and phones
doesn't
all the
cause
time.
direct harm to
Obviously
any
setting
individual.
some obstacles in goal.
If it did, then I would stop it right now.
It
But
literally does, and it's the exact
So-
same thing. It
so
100%
when I turn on my
does.
computer
Because
every
those
day,
companies wouldn't be able to make those products unless people like you and me invest in them and buy them and use them.
It's a fiend.
Right?
Well, yeah, 'cause I like to hang out with
It's
them.
about supply and demand. If you're using
when we're talking about
like their products,
actions,
then
not
clearly
just betterment
you
for
have
yourself,
contributed
like in general, like
to their
betterment for
crimes.
yourself, like,
yeah, but I only buy
In
like
the same mindset,
one
it's just the same
computer.
mindset,
you
though.
look at it like in relative.
So, like-
hold on.
Better
Now
than
So
I'm
if I
getting-
buy
now
one
I'm
burger
getting-
a
hold
month,
on.
I think what's important.
Now I'm
is
getting
that
really
everyone should
confused
strive
because
to at
it wasn't
least
all that
be
long ago
zero,
that you were agreeing with
not
me when
negative.
I was
It shouldn't
saying
be bad, right?
that yeah, they might make my shirts, but do I support it? No.
I mean, like,
You're
being
agreeing
born
with
on its
that,
own
so
is-
now
That's what I'm saying.
you're on this side of
Exactly.
the
No, that's what I'm saying.
Result
I'm
of
not
your
saying
like your
because I'm not saying I'm gonna stop buying shirts. I'm
killing
saying
other life
that
to sustain
that the
themselves and give birth to.
argument is
You're
flawed for
literally
both
the
of them. Like what I'm saying is
Well,
that
the way
like
you're
I'm not
making
gonna
it
feel bad for
sound-
eating meat
the
in
way
the
you're
same way that I
making
don't
it
feel
sound-
bad for wearing a
not
shirt.
douchey. Like, if you're looking from like a
But it's the way you're
Like,
making
I
it
don't feel
sound. The way
bad
you're
for
making it
using a cell
sound
phone.
is
nothing you
like,
can do will ever get
you know, you're making it sound like you're trying to have somebody see the right, like one side of the opinion that
No,
you're
no.
not
in a
on.
positive way, and you're striving
No,
to
no,
do
no.
it.
Okay, so they're trying to tell me that I'm morally
then go for
wrong
it,
because
right?
I eat
Everyone has
meat,
kind of
right?
their own
And I'm trying to
Well,
tell them,
no,
like,
no,
well,
not
and
because
by
you
that
eat
logic,
meat.
you're morally wrong for using a cell phone.
Not because you eat meat, but rather you pay for these industries that exploit and ultimately kill
Right, in the same
innocent
way that you
animals.
paid for an industry that exploits children. Like that's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
can't
it's the same
guarantee
thing. It's
that.
the
I
difference
can't
is that-
guarantee that.
That one is exploiting cows and one is exploiting children, but both of us are contributing to one of them.
As we have.
But you can't guarantee
Right.
that I
the
paid
problems and
for
strengths of
child
millions of different
like
things and
exploitation,
machine.
right?
I mean, the world we live
'Cause
in
I
is a
don't
world
even know
where
if I
we are
paid
Well,
for
it's a
child
cell phone
exploitation.
or a computer because those are made by that.
Even in some of the
Like that's where they
worst
come from.
scenarios of someone
Like
first
nobody
world country,
nobody is
they're
making
mostly taken
American
care
or
of.
So do you
or
have
UK
evidence that like
phones or
all
computers.
technology technology is made from children.
believe it's better for them or better for the world.
I mean, yeah, you can look it up. Just the fact that it's unaffordable
So are you saying
to pay a worker
literally-
$15 an hour to make computer chips.
So are you literally saying all computer products are unethical?
From my ethical point of view,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My moral compass, where am I most comfortable?
By that mindset, like the thing is like I'm fine with using it. I'm aware of it, but like the thing is, I'm not going around telling people to throw their computers away. In the same way you're going around telling people they can't eat meat.
But
right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't care. Like the thing is like I personally am like, look, I need to use my phone. I need to use my computer. I need to use my clothing. I like to eat meat. These are things I like to own, and I know that there's a immoral process in which they're being made, but I still continue to live my life anyway, and not go around and trying to, you know.
So for me, again, it depends
and my
on
life
the
over it.
society or culture you're in. It could
Like
be
I
the
still
fact
use
So
these
wouldn't that
products
be
and
unethical
are my
because you're
living.
just ignoring you're just going on with your life?
society,
Like,
the
So
world,
here's the thing,
humanity,
ignoring the
so
fact
my
that,
alternatives
you're
are,
using
but
the
my
product.
alternatives are. So what is my other option though? My options are either to continue using computers and phones and living a normal life, or I drop everything and I go live in a hut in the woods.
Well,
so
you
that
don't
way
have to live in a
always,
hut in the woods. You can just
you
live without internet because it's not
Am I
necessary
gonna
for
make
your
my own
survival,
clothing?
right?
Am I gonna make my own computer? Am I gonna make my own?
Then I kind of feel like you are
You know,
a hypocrite.
there's
You very well
the amount of
could.
things that I would need to do.
Yeah, you could. You know, you
right
could
thing,
live
doing the right
without.
thing.
You could live without these.
I think
Like
again, a lot comes down to people
everyone
take
could
the
live
model
without
that is
technology,
single-minded
right?
But
It's
do
not.
you live without
taking
them?
upon all the problems
Huh?
they can themselves.
No, I
and
know.
applying
You
their
can. I'm saying you
solutions to it.
can, but
No, I'm here to
These
brush
for me
people's
organically
hair.
come about from the group.
Well,
society.
I'm not gonna.
like you're
This is
literally
like,
on a
you
computer
know-
right now, right?
Yeah, so yeah.
See, this is like,
You know what,
you
I-
know that fucking
You
cows
said-
are getting
you said a lot of
slaughtered,
stuff there.
and then you
I think
actively choose not to eat meat because of that, which
said
would be dumb because, believe it or not, humans actually live a longer lifespan and are healthier eating that meat.
You also said that
Do you have
society
evidence?
Like again, we literally are agreeing. What I'm saying is that like their argument is that you shouldn't eat meat because it's immorally wrong, and my argument is like, well, that's like saying you shouldn't use a cell phone because it's immorally wrong because of the child labor.
Right?
I'm saying that both of them are the same argument, and I disagree with both of them because I like to use cell phones,
Wait,
I like to use my
yourself.
computer, and I like to eat meat.
So the first thing you need
Well,
to do
that's
is
actually
then
wrong.
participate in society as a
The
whole.
child
Is if
slavery,
I-
that's not
when your
beneficial to
standards
our
lie,
lives.
if you're a hypocrite in
The
anything,
eating
then
the meat,
if you enforced it,
that benefits our
Using a
lifespan.
computer.
God, I wish I remember the word, but if you enforced it on your societal
Okay, so there's no intent
There you
to.
go, but then that's the thing. You're literally disagreeing with them by saying that we shouldn't be eating meat. That's what I'm saying. So we're on the same side here.
Once you've come to a baseline where
Okay, there's no intent to exploit children when I buy computers.
I'm gonna eat meat and I'm not gonna feel bad about
what
it.
the ramifications are, what the positive, negatives are.
Like, there's no
Once you come
intent to
terms with that, then
exploit
you can step into
children when I
society
buy
and
computers,
make your voice
right?
heard and become part
I
of
don't
the
intend
organic
to
process where
exploit
society
cows when I
grows
eat
together.
meat.
And just like again,
Well,
you think
you're
natural selection is
consciously,
kind of a
you're
weird-
consciously doing.
I don't go to a cow. I don't go to a slaughterhouse and kick the cow. Like
But
in
you're
the
paying
same
for
way that
these
I don't go
products.
to a factory and tell the child to work faster.
Like I mean, like natural
Like
selection is, or
I buy the
I don't see
product
this
and the
argument
money goes
ending
to the
well,
people
so
that do
I'm
that.
just
the species,
gonna.
but the rest of the species deems it undesirable.
It's the same argument. It's the same argument, but with a different
how
circumstance.
society kind of grows. Depending on your
No, but
influence or power,
it's a false equivalation, right? Because you're saying that.
Yo, Cat, I have a question for you.
But I think on a base
Yeah, what's
level,
up?
humanity and
Alright,
individuals as a
so,
whole
like,
understand
why is it bad
things
to
are being
eat?
preached to or lied to. And the
Okay,
problem
okay.
is that people
So
don't
it's bad to
often
eat meat
reflect on
because
what
it
those
causes
are.
unnecessary animal
Changing
suffering.
their perspective in life, changing
Alright,
their moral
but, like,
compass, changing
they
their
were made to
standards,
be eaten, so
being
what's the
hypocritical
problem?
about their opinions.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
So,
what
but
most
if dogs
collective
were made to
forms,
be
like,
eaten,
lie as
right? If they were
truth.
bred for that
Also, in
purpose, does
general,
that
so, like,
suddenly make it
fruits and
Then they
okay?
would eat
vegetables
'em.
is way beyond the scope of what humans,
Yeah, but they weren't, so.
from
Yeah,
a
but
mental point of view. When we
so
put back
okay,
into,
okay.
like, the
So
group,
you know, like,
it is way
who
too big
else
than
used this kind of
tribal
justification?
mentalities that we essentially have. As
That
much
guy
as
that
we've
just left?
evolved out of the tribal
No,
mentality of like the
I'm
assertive
talking
and
about like
etc.,
slave
we
owners,
still haven't. We're still
like
very
Nazis.
resource-driven, we're still very
They also
materialistic,
use the
etc.
same
These are resources
justification.
that
They
kept
were
our
meant
ancestors
to
alive,
be,
but we've not grown out.
you know,
And most
violated
people
or
can't
whatever.
reflect on that, so they can't
This
So,
is
understand
like, animals
how
were
that
dead
biases
ass,
their
like,
opinions
brought here to be eaten.
and how their thought process or their ego is negatively impacting not
Wait, says
others,
but says
If you got
who?
stranded, if you got stranded
leading
somewhere,
into a spiral
like, what would you?
of,
If you got stranded somewhere, would you
essentially
eat
inequality
plants
where
instead
they
of
believe
punching
they're
the deer
all
that's like right there?
Well, if I was stranded somewhere, then I would be in a survival situation, right? And if I was in a survival situation, I would do anything to
They're
survive.
made to be eaten.
But let me ask you this: if you were on an island with an abundance of plant foods, would you still go harm animals?
Yeah.
If you don't
Well,
agree with
if I needed
something,
the nutrients needed, yeah, I would.
America, and because nobody likes
What if
Trump
I said
or
all those
Biden,
nutrients
so
are found
you
in plants?
write it.
Yeah, but like in the real life, it's not.
For sure.
There it is though.
Yeah,
Like, I can show you
I
the science
definitely
out
agree
there.
that you should
Or
look
you
unto
can
yourself.
try
So like,
research
tell
on
me,
it.
tell me what plant? Tell me what plant has meat proteins.
There's no meat proteins that we need to survive. Literally.
What about iron? Do plants have iron?
No,
Yeah,
I'd kill
plants do
myself
have
if I don't
iron.
have meat, so actually I need meat to survive.
Wait, you.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And again, I'm
Okay,
going
okay.
to try
So-
I mean, like, if I can't have a steak every some nights, I mean, like, just plants? Plants? You wanna eat plants every night?
Plants are living too. What's the difference?
Well, okay. So
Plants are
I
living
mean,
objects.
don't get me wrong, potatoes are good, carrots, celery, but I mean, like, every night of your life.
You can't rely actively.
yeah, well, you don't have to just eat potatoes and all these things, right? You can have like lentils, beans, rice, pasta, fruits, different kind of vegetables. You know, so many plants.
Quick
So don't
question.
you use like isn't pasta?
Technically, aren't plants
Well,
plants are living,
obviously,
yes?
Pasta without animal products. Okay, plants are living beings, but they don't have central nervous systems, brain, pain receptors, etc. If you really
cows-
cared about
cows
plants,
have those.
So, explain this to me. If you guys don't want to kill things, yes? Yet animals, yet you want to kill plants.
Is it fine to kill someone?
wait, what?
Yes, very much fine.
Decides that it's okay to kill
Why do you think we have a military in war?
Bro,
Because it's okay to kill as many people as we need. We're all
Okay,
disposable.
listen. So, if you really cared about plants, right, the animals you eat more plants. We're literally feeding about half of our world's crops towards animals.
Yeah, but
Oh, I'm not a vegan. I eat all the meat I need.
Then it
Yeah,
comes
I
down
am
to
too. But like, if we
Yeah,
eat plants
me.
along with them eating
support
plants,
them, we'll
then
chime
we're
in,
killing more
and
plants.
it'll come down to a fight, as it did in that.
Yeah, so that's why we should.
plants, and
It
then
should be
we'll-
only us
So,
to eat plants because
vegan.
animals eat more,
Look it.
So,
and it's
but if
literally
we-
fact.
Only we were gonna.
So,
we would have to
how
kill
are
all
you
the
gonna get rid of the
animals
animals?
and
Are you gonna kill all the animals? Even
No,
though that's
no,
what
no,
you're
no.
against, isn't it?
No, I'm against.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm-
Bring them
no, no,
away
no,
with
I'm
the
against-
plants
I'm
and
against
starve
animal
them, so no
cruelty,
matter
right?
what, it's cool and they die.
No, I'm against animal cruelty. So there won't be overpopulation of animals in the first place.
So there's no problem with hunting.
Well, do you find hunting cruel?
Try and make society in a way.
No,
where
if you put a bullet in its head, it's not gonna keep
based on
walking.
your opinion.
Yeah, would you accept that if I put a bullet in your head?
Society you're living in, look from
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't.
If you had a good reason, I mean,
Like,
Okay, what if
we can't stop
it was
it with a bullet.
unnecessary? What if it's all unnecessary? Like just what we do to
I
animals is
mean,
all unnecessary.
hunting's for fun. Hunting's for fun, and a lot of people do it to feed themselves.
But we can feed ourselves on plants, right? It's literally been scientifically proven that we can thrive.
Yeah, obviously. But like, we need plants to have oxygen. And if you eat plants, and the cows eat plants, and
Yeah,
the other
what-
animal eats plants,
Um,
we finna
trees
run out of
though,
oxygen.
but
Yeah.
look at
Bro, like, see if we had a vegan world.
what happens
There would
when
be
we
no.
hold on. What happens when we eat all the plants and we hit a big drought? No water,
Oh
no
my
plants.
gosh,
We're gonna have to go back to eating animals.
These arguments don't make sense, bro. Okay.
So you were
So
saying
as
We've
more
had droughts in the
vegans,
past.
as more people
We've
go
had
vegan.
droughts in the past.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me just
So, and then
address
less
all your
animals-
criticisms.
wait,
let
the
it-
less
let it
animals
talk,
we-
let it talk.
Bro.
Wait, let it talk,
Yes.
let it talk.
Okay, so as more people go vegan, right, the less demand, and then thus the less supply. So these animals won't be forcefully bred into existence. So
Like,
more
we
vegans,
still eat
less
hella
animals,
plants.
slowly less animals, right?
Yes,
This will be
but
gradual.
the less animals we eat, the more animals produce, the more animals that are gonna eat the foods that we need, and there's gonna be less and less space for humans, and over too many animals.
Unless
There's
you're
gonna
gonna
be
kill
overproduction of animals because there's nobody killing any. Animals need to be killed. Animals need to be eaten.
They don't need to be killed. It's like, do dogs need to
But
be
what
killed?
happens when there's too many animals for the world, and
There's
there's not
no,
enough
there's
food?
not going to be too many
And there's
animals.
not enough space.
I've just addressed what would happen when people go vegan. The less demand and the less
Do
people.
we kill them?
No, they wouldn't
Do we kill
exist,
those
right? They would
So there's
slowly
less
decline in
things to eat our
population
food then?
because they were getting forcefully bred. So they're slowly decline in population, right? Until the whole world is vegan, and then there's like only a couple of animals left. We can take care of them in sanctuaries.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you this much: someone's gonna have to kill me, or do something with my brain before I go vegan.
Deadass.
Okay.
Because like, have you ever tried a hamburger from like Wendy's?
Okay. So you guys think
Then it
taste?
tastes bust, like,
You guys think taste can justify like killing these animals, right?
regardless if you
Yes.
Yeah, because they were made for
I mean,
that.
if I taste good and someone was like, "Yo, you should
Wait, hold on. Are you
try
are you
something," okay.
That it doesn't matter. You can be vegan and religious, but okay. Let's say that I was putting dogs into gas chambers because I like the sound of them. You know, it sounded so nice
That's
to
not
my
the same
ears.
thing at all.
Like, what would you think of me,
That's
right?
not the same at all.
No, but it is exactly
think-
what it's exactly what we're using
Hold
to
on.
justify this. We're using a sensory pleasure.
Hold on, no, we're not
We're
gas
just-
chambering our
We-
food.
We
are
are
not
gas
putting our
chambering
food into
pigs.
gas
We're
chambers.
literally gas chambering pigs. Have you ever seen like what happens in
pigs got shot,
slaughterhouses?
like-
And then we eat that food. We eat the food that's been gassed. You're gonna tell me right now I am eating food that has gases in it.
Yeah, but you don't need to eat that food, right? That's the thing. We can
Okay, hold up,
survive.
No, 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 no.
Like, God
Look
put
it. So you're
animals
gonna
on
tell me
Earth,
right
like,
now that they're gonna feed me a pig that's been killed with gases. So chemicals. I'm eating a pig with chemicals and stuff in it.
No, you're. So they knock these animals out with carbon dioxide gas. It's literally concentrated carbon dioxide gas.
Okay, carbon dioxide. I got no problem with that. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you would care and you would have a problem if you were in the animal's possession.
Hold on. Aren't too many cows? Hold on, cows put out farts, yes, that's ruining our own zone layer, yeah?
Hey, wait, I have proof. Have you ever watched Watercraft like on PBS Kids? There was an episode where there's too many cows and like, they ate too much grass.
And look at their burps, hold on, their burps and like their farts put out a lot of carbon dioxide. That is ruining our ozone layer and is harming everybody. It's gonna harm everybody.
You know,
The more cows that are killed, the better.
You know, there's so many environmental issues that we're having because of animal production and like animal agriculture. Like it's all these industries.
Hey, I
Like,
don't care about. Listen. I don't care about this world. We have COVID. That's a man-made thing. I can worry more about COVID and wars and all of that than I
you
do
know what
about
caused
some food.
COVID? You know what caused COVID? Very likely.
Some Chinese, I don't know.
A bat.
Because because we were
It was
farming.
bats or China.
We were intensively farming these animals in tightly cramped spaces where disease can, like, you know, quickly replicate.
Hey yo, COVID was from a bat, dog. COVID was from a bat.
COVID came from China.
Yeah,
China.
animals. They're zoonotic diseases, right? So we've already had previous
COVID came from a
zoonotic
guy in
diseases.
China that
We
ate a
don't
bat.
farm bats. It was either this is the two things. It's a disease that a guy got from eating a bat, or it's a disease that was made in a lab in China to lower some of the population to just harm food.
So it has nothing to do
And then
with
it spread over here, like the killer bees also came from there. Was that from over farming? It's another issue.
Well, yeah, you know, we've got previous zoonotic diseases like swine flu, bird flu, MERS, SARS, Ebola, malaria, the literal 1918 influenza virus that came from a Kansas chicken farm. We have all these diseases, right? COVID is just another zoonotic disease. Like,
Is the flu from over farming? Because that's a
Well-
disease that's
well,
killed
there's
millions
influenza
of
that came
people
from
every year.
factory farms, but I'm not sure if like the common
The flu. No, the common flu.
I'm not sure. But you know, there's a lot of these diseases that do come from factory farming and do come from zoonotic origins.
No, it's funny. I've only heard this diseases come from farming from a vegan. Everybody else says, oh, it was from this, it was from this.
Yeah, because they don't want to address the truth.
Say over farming.
It's like, when do you see the truth of slaughterhouses? You never see that in supermarkets.
I don't know.
I see it all the time, but like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
look,
you
there's
would
a whole
if you
video
were in
of
the
someone
animal's
standing on
position.
a black man's neck. Is that the
If I was
truth?
an
That's a
animal,
video.
like, if I
That's
was
the
an
truth.
If I was an animal to be like killed, shit, I'm just off the world.
I mean, dude, if people needed to survive, my life is gonna end much more quickly than theirs. They need to live.
Yeah.
Eat me. Go ahead, kill me real quick. Eat me. Don't do it quick.
No,
I don't
guys,
care. Just
but,
eat me. You guys
but
live.
honestly,
You are
seriously,
much more advanced.
if you guys were in the animal's possession, I'm sure you would never in a million years accept it. Like, honestly, being serious and genuine.
They don't like torture.
They literally
being
gas
serious with
them
you right
alive.
now.
We literally
On my
masturbate
mom's
chicks.
Can you kill me?
Hey yo, can you give me like the link that like says that?
Okay, just search up Dominion on
Where's the
YouTube.
videos?
Dominion. Just watch Dominion. Watch Dominion. It's a.
Okay, let me go watch a Minions movie then, from what I'm hearing.
No, it's called Dominion.
It's called throw up.
It's called dominion,
That's what you
right?
make me want to do when you hear go vegan.
You're all gonna die.
Yeah,
Wait, I'm
we're all
gonna die?
no matter
You mean
what.
I'm gonna live longer than you
We're all-
because I'm not eating cholesterol?
Yeah, but you're still gonna die.
Fats. Yeah, we're all gonna die at some point, right?
Exactly. So don't worry about this.
You know, some of the world's oldest people, though, they eat meat.
Oh my gosh.
Do they or do they not?
Yeah.
Do they or do they not?
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
well,
They eat lots of
So how
meat.
you finna live?
You know, there's people that smoke a lot and they live a long life. That doesn't mean smoking's healthy.
Yeah, it's all luck based.
And even like, okay, on a more micro scale,
you could eat
the
vegan
city
and
I
be
live in
like,
has
oh,
its
man, you
own
could die like
cultures and
tomorrow night.
beliefs and,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
could die right now.
But
like I said, vegans are
doesn't
very
matter
fish.
though, right?
They
It's all
probably
about
know
the
that's not
victims.
normal for us,
These
that's
animals
standard.
that we literally think are
On a more
commodities.
micro scale, I have my workplace, which is
These animals that have no clue what's happening, they're gonna die. No, they're gonna die somehow, whether it's from anything,
I can get it.
whatever it is from.
Yeah, and we're all gonna die
Yes,
someday, but
I
it
could have
doesn't.
someone with a gun right now.
It doesn't justify, you know, torturing and literally enslaving billions of animals, right?
Yo, God put him on here to like
Enslaving them? What are we
Do you
enslaving
think
them
there's
to do?
slaughterhouses in
What
heaven?
are we making them do work?
Okay,
Are we making them do work?
if God put billions of animals
I don't
here,
believe in him. I don't believe in him. I don't believe in him.
The house you live in, the community, your family. The
okay, so
live here,
if God is such a compassionate person,
eventually to the macro scale,
and God put slaughterhouses on the earth,
because
then
until
what
I
does the
can
devil
identify
do?
with those, I can't be sure that I'm being hypocritical against my
I
own
don't
views
know. I don't read
of you
into
should
that.
seek out
Dude, the devil's just chilling, waiting for someone to summon him and just play some games. Like, I hunt you.
So for me, since I can't do that because I don't speak Spanish.
Okay, but
I don't really
seriously,
say
guys, like,
I
what
wouldn't
is
go-
what is
I'm being
stopping
dead
you
serious,
from
like,
being vegan?
The way
Like, you
work
can still be
culture,
like,
the way
you
first
can
of
still
all,
joke around,
first of all,
like,
tastes
the way
good.
you talk about politics,
Tastes
One,
good.
it tastes good.
Second of all,
the way you
I want to eat meat because
produce meat, or the way you do
it's good.
your
Second,
economy, the
third
way
of
you
all,
do your mining, etc. I can't
I don't think I
have
could
a
survive
direct opinion on
personally
either
off
because
of
I don't
vegan
know
when I raised off
where
of
they're
Okay,
directly
so
stemmed
you
from.
can survive off a well-planned vegan diet. It's not just an opinion.
You
The
know, it
scientific
doesn't- I don't
evidence
think-
is out there.
I don't think.
Observing it and watching it.
I mean, I'd have to eat a lot more though. I'd have to eat a lot more to fill myself up than I would with meat.
Like, you would
You're gonna have to
vegetarian
lot more
diet to
plants.
like be happily vegan, but you can't raise a
Mhm.
kid
I
off
mean,
a
again, like
vegan diet
humanity as a
because
whole,
they
I think that
they're
would
not
mess
gonna
me
have
up.
that
these things
perspective,
grow
and
up.
again, we've had
Okay, I'll just give this quote. I'll just say this again. So, the largest organization of dietetics, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, over 100,000 accredited dietitians, not even a vegan organization, released a massive peer-reviewed study stating that a well-planned vegan diet is suitable for all life stages, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, athletes, etc. This is backed up by the British Dietetic Association, backed up by the NHS, backed up by the Canada Dietetic Association. You know, all the evidence is out
Yo, I
there.
looked it up. I just looked it up.
like, for example,
80% out of the 100%
I mean,
malnourished kids
in
come from
Germany,
vegan
like,
diet.
Oh my
I
gosh,
mean,
that
are
doesn't
we
tell
really
me
gonna believe
anything about
everything they
vegan
say,
diets. That's
though?
literally
Are
a
you
lack
gonna
of
believe
knowledge
everything
or bad
some
parenting.
government officials say?
Hey, yo, I have a
Personally,
That's the thing, right? Like, so I'm not gonna say
Personally,
right?
I'm not
Because
sure
when we're
whether
talking
I'm
about
going
masses,
to
we're
believe them or
talking
not,
about
because
a very specific
don't trust
These
their
are
guidance. I don't
literally
trust anyone.
scientific bodies. It's not like.
we can identify
Okay,
that
okay,
have a
anyways.
certain belief system.
And you said it
Yeah,
tastes good, right?
scientists still lie. They work for the government.
Okay, so you say it tastes good. Do you think sensory pleasure can justify like killing animals?
Sensory what?
Do you think you said it? So you said it tastes good, right? So do you think sensory pleasure can justify killing?
Up in the generation of.
That's not sensory.
The people brought
That's
up
sensory
during
with your
World War
eye.
II were the people born in Germany.
No, it's a sense, right? Taste is a sense. Okay, do you think taste pleasure?
Yes, it can be taken.
Do you think taste pleasure can justify killing?
I would say
Yes.
Okay, you know, in any other context, it would sound insane.
Complete condemning of an entire group.
Oh yeah, I know, but
I
in this
mean-
context,
Especially like such a violent way.
So,
can't
for
make a
example,
false reality.
if a rapist
I'd obviously
was like,
object to it,
okay,
but
I'm
at the
getting
same
so
time,
much sensory
I wouldn't
pleasure
feel
from
like
this, I
it's
can't
my place
stop.
on a
Like, what would you
individual
think of that?
Because I don't
mean,
have a group to
I
basically
mean,
go like my view. I don't
some
have
of
like an
them
echo chamber
have
in a way
mental
to
issues.
reinforce my views.
So, I mean,
wouldn't
it's
say
not
I'm
their
the
fault
moral
that
standard.
this
Like,
is
a lot
what
of
they, this
them
is
don't
what
have
they
white
want to do.
issues.
So
They
you
need it.
think
This is what they
rape
need. They
is
don't.
fine?
They are not happy with
Are you
it.
literally trying to
I didn't say
justify
that.
rape right now?
Under some circumstances.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
under
that's not a
unnecessary,
bad thing.
under unnecessary
These are
circumstances.
like bad things, right?
I mean, sure.
Nah, cause
They
like,
are, without
but
these
they're also
things, you can
inherent
still-
things to society.
No, but seriously though, guys, like.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
Just
how
think
did we
about
get into? our animals? Are you putting in the
I don't know, hey, yo, do you like, have you had a hamburger?
Wait, okay, guys,
Oh, that
if
was
you're
a good
guys,
last
if you're against animal cruelty, just reflect it with your actions. That's all I ask you.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I'm
reflect
not.
it with your actions.
I'm
You're
not
not against
against
animal
it.
cruelty.
Like again, you can say
Not
that
at all against it. No, not at all.
completely fine for the most part.
I'm completely fine with it.
We understand
okay, whatever,
the
bro.
part you're specifically talking about when you talk
I
about.
can't
it,
anymore.
right?
I don't care what happens to these animals. They're stupid,
going all the
and
time.
no matter what, they're gonna end in my
You're
local.
literally
They're
called
gonna
Mr.
end up in my
Fishy. Bro,
local
Mr. Fishy.
market basket on a stove in my mouth.
If you were in the animal's position, you wouldn't accept it for days. Right? Like, just
but
being
you're
honest.
What
about
about my
it.
name being Mr. Fishy? I go
And
out
from
fishing.
a general point of view, yeah,
We take
disagree with
them,
but we
kill
don't
them,
actively
and then
fight
eat them afterwards.
Why? Because we're not part of a
Yeah, you don't have to do
structure
this.
where we can actually impose that.
You don't
but we
have
don't
to.
believe
No,
in
but it's fun for me. I like fishing. I like putting a hook through its face.
Do you think
Just on
it would be fun if
release
you were the
micro and
fish?
macro groups that I'm talking about,
Just
and there's
because they
different
don't scream or
problems in
anything
Well, I'm
doesn't
not a
mean they're
fish.
not
on
suffering.
themselves is like a
They're
moral
literally,
compass. Now,
like,
themselves
they literally
is
can't
the
breathe.
Erical Bible
They're
of
literally
humanity to
suffocating
follow.
in the air.
Humanity as a species isn't
Right?
a perfect
Just like
species.
try
It
put
isn't
yourself in the
I mean,
fish position.
sharks
It's a
drown
species
people.
that is defined by
Yeah, but just because
okay,
animals
let's
do
see
something
here.
bad doesn't
I see a
justify us
sharp
doing
hook.
it.
I see a
So if you
sharp
have a
hook. My
group that
my
has
lips already
believes
ripped
in a
off
certain
by one
way
of those, and I
they
go and
prosper
get it
from
again.
that and they go on for 100
I think
years,
that's
that was
kind
a
of
group that
fine.
was in
Fish are
itself
dumb. Their
contained
brains
was
are like
fine.
Hello, people.
Yeah,
this
just
big.
because
You see that?
just because
But
they're
again,
dumb
now that
doesn't
we're in
mean
global space,
that we
thanks to
can
two,
just
stuff
like
that, then we can directly
exploit
see how
them.
all of those are channeled. So we have a lot more active challenges going on.
Well,
between
it's
different
fun.
belief systems, as we've had for all of history. Now, just one
Well,
way more
like,
larger.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
So
Well,
humanity as a whole
like,
is no longer having small
you know,
schisms
someone
about
that beats children could
land
literally use the
fights or
same
beliefs or
justifications as
religions
what
and
you
shit
just
like that,
said.
as we've had
Well,
throughout
it's
all of
fun.
history. None of this is
You know,
for
I
humanity.
enjoy it.
As much as we like to
That doesn't
believe
make
that
it
there was
right.
a
Okay, and they
group in
have a
World War
mental
II
issue.
who was the most evil of all of them. We
Well,
absolutely know it's not. It doesn't
yeah,
take, you don't have to go back too far in
doesn't
history
make
to
it
find
right from the
entire
victim's
fucking,
point of view.
countries who would just fucking destroy.
Well,
almost
they
like
don't know that. I
essentially
mean, if someone had a mental
thousands,
issue, I'd
thousands of
hate
people
that this
who would
happened,
write
but
anything about
it's
it, and
not their
that's really
fault.
history.
They have an
We
issue
know
with
that
their
happened. We
brain
know humanity is capable of that.
that is telling
And we
them
know
to
that
do
some parts
this,
of
and they
humanity
do
still
not
do.
have much of a choice.
And the consensus, you would have to go like,
They
well, there
can't
should be a
control that.
standard
That's
ethical.
their brain.
But at the same time,
How
there's
their
obviously
brain works.
potentially hundreds of millions of people.
Well,
who their
yeah,
belief
but that
system
doesn't
is
tell
the
me
opposite of
anything.
theirs.
It doesn't
And,
suddenly
in
make it
retrospect, when you
right for the
evaluate it, you
victim.
go, okay, if their belief system
Imagine
is
you
that,
were
then
in the
they would
victim's
inherently
shoes,
lead
right?
to their own
You were
destruction.
being oppressed.
Which is what, again, we've seen
You
throughout
wouldn't,
history.
you
groups
wouldn't
that basically
accept
work on,
it.
like,
You wouldn't
warring
be
and
like, okay,
fighting
yeah,
and,
that's fine. You know,
profiteering and stuff.
I
Often
was
that could just
mentally
die
traumatized,
out.
but they had
It's not
a
a sustainable thing.
No,
something.
I'd be
However,
mad,
Just
but
constantly
of
see that
course.
history keeps repeating. The
I
that
would
just try-
feel bad for the guy because of his issues,
Yeah, just try
and I
put
wouldn't
yourself
hold that
in.
against him.
From the individual basis, you can try and
Yeah, it doesn't
overcome
matter.
that,
Because
like,
that's
math
his
and
issues
better
that he
for
doesn't
it.
have a
But
choice for. It's not
it's
his
part of
fault that
yourself
he
to
was
kinda
born with them or
understand
has
those
them
groups,
now.
understand
It's
why
not
they
his
did it.
fault
Yeah,
that he
of
did
course,
this.
of course, they can get professional
was born
help.
that
You should
way.
impose it as like a
They can get
rule of
professional
thumb.
help,
Let
of
them
course.
Not
just,
everybody
like, come
can.
to, like, the mutual
Not
agreement
everybody.
table. Like, here's the my belief system
yeah.
works with this on
But
this matter.
how
on
does
this
that
topic.
justify
They can bring their
you
forward ones, and if you come to
paying
consensus
for
or
the torture
disagreement, then
of
you have to
innocent
kind of
animals?
decide how you
Just
handle
put
that.
yourself,
If
just
that
be
means
like
basically
Paying
empathetic
for
for
it?
once.
micro,
Yeah, because
Paying for it.
when you pay money into these
that's the
industries,
solution.
you're
One
essentially
group will
funding
probably
them,
eventually
right?
die out, the other will
So
prosper.
How am I paying money into this industry?
Okay.
I don't buy my own
If
food.
that unfortunately gets
Okay,
resolved
fine.
in
I'm
How-
conflict, it
13.
gets resolved in
You're
conflict,
13.
I personally do
most
not
of
buy my
humanity
own
is fucking
food.
shows.
Right, you sound like okay, whatever.
But yeah, my point is,
If,
humanity
even
is
if you eat
completely
these
different
foods,
how we were,
right,
like,
you're
200
you're
years
creating that
ago in
demand.
most
If I have $1 billion, I
no
will put money
longer
into
focusing,
these
like,
industries
identity
to
of,
get
like,
them bigger, to get
micro,
them to slaughter more food, to
cultures
get me
and
more
ideas
meat.
and philosophies anymore without always dealing with the macro stage.
If you're in the victim's,
And because of that,
okay, just
society
try to
is
be
constantly
empathetic
changing and
for
warping and
once,
changing whole
right?
opinions.
Put yourself
Nope, don't
in
have
we are
that.
seeing like the
put
formation
yourself
of
in the in the animal's point of view. Because these
I'm
animals don't
going
even
to turn me
know.
into bacon. Go feed yourself. I taste good.
These animals don't even know what's happening to them. They're literally like children in their minds, right? They don't know what's happening next, and then like they just have their lives taken away from them unnecessarily. Because we don't need to do this to them.
I mean, I have my life taken away from me unnecessarily because someone wants my money. That could happen to me tomorrow. That could happen to me right now. I could have a man with an AK in my face put a bullet in my head because he wants my Oculus.
Okay, how realistic is that? But these
food,
animals
water, blah,
are
blah, blah, all of
guaranteed
those
to be
People get
killed.
robbed and killed every single. People get robbed and killed every single day. We're all guaranteed to die at some point.
Completely self-sufficient,
Yeah,
etc.
of course, but that
We're
doesn't.
basically just saying humanity
Just
itself
because
should
there's
not
like
exist,
bad things
like
going
any
on
other living
doesn't mean
organism.
to
We
cause the
take from
maximum amount
others
of
to
harm.
sustain ourselves, to
We can always like
reproduce
reduce
and
it.
a lot of people
We can always
have
stop
inherent
bad things from
fucking
happening.
lose interest.
Because
we
few
can stop,
people die.
we can stop
none of
like
that's
people
right, and
robbing
try
Not
each
all
other.
cops are
If
bad,
we,
right?
believe that
yeah, not everyone's
all
bad,
living
of course.
organisms in
We can
general
stop, but we
are
can
by
stop a
any
lot
kind
of
moral
these
standard when
injustices
evaluated
if we
at a deeper
simply
level
teach people
are inherently
that,
evil because
you know,
all of them
sentient beings
thrive of
are
taking from another
just
living
want to
organism,
live, just want to
even,
experience
plants,
life.
etc.
You know, you
Plants that
just
can
you
serve
like
My
you
homeless
and I.
person just wants to
neural
live too,
network that
but
can
nobody's
connect
giving
things.
them enough money.
Sometimes it's just as
Yeah,
Because nobody
exactly.
has enough
So-
empathy to give them some money, so they need to go rob somewhere or they're gonna die.
Yeah, so if we literally just teach people to be empathetic, we'd solve a lot more problems. You know, we wouldn't have
Have
as
fun teaching billions of people to be empathetic when we're literally going out killing each other on a daily basis.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Because we have a disagreement about presidents. Because Trump was better than Biden, and for some reason
an
Biden
agreed
won.
state where you go, okay,
Well,
we all believe
okay,
on this base level
I
that
don't
we're working
really,
with this, but within your own same social group, you're gonna have
I
people
don't
who,
know
when you
much
challenge
So
them,
everybody's
certain
gonna go out
questions,
and
they
kill
feel
each
like an
other and
absolute,
fight
of
each
course
other.
it's having to be.
But everybody's
Then we
worried
disagree.
about
That's the nature
meat
of the
and
beast.
being a vegan.
because it causes so
Okay,
much
well,
of
I
our
mean,
I'm not
problems.
forcing you to eat meat, but I mean
I
a lot
feel
of you
like,
vegans
this
force
conversation,
us to try and be
you talk
vegan
a lot
and
about
What do you
really
think?
say
What do you
most
think's
things.
more
disagree with,
forceful?
right? Like, yeah,
Me trying to
sometimes
teach
people
people, me trying to
disagree with
educate
me,
people
right?
about being more
Sometimes
empathetic
humans
towards
fight
others,
over,
you know, being against
moral
animal cruelty with
things
your
or,
actions.
you know, stuff like
Or
this, but
people that force innocent
it
animals to
just doesn't
literally
touch
be
on at all
slaughtered
what we
against their
should
will.
do.
Like, what is truly more forceful if you think about it like
Decide what we
that?
should do.
Pff, I don't really care about them getting killed though. I mean, it's forceful, yeah, but
Yeah, you can make
You
your
have
own.
your own opinions on
Absolutely.
what we should do,
True.
Yeah.
True.
right?
But it's also up to you on
So
how
you-
you try and bring that
but
into the
you
greater
wouldn't
world. You
think
can't
it's
go
okay
into a
if you were,
famished community and be like,
if
no,
you
no,
were the
no,
one
you shouldn't
that's
be
being
doing this or
slaughtered.
that because
Right.
that's wrong.
mean, if I was
Well,
an
the
animal,
family
go ahead,
community
slaughter me.
dies, so for all your
You would
moral updates, etc.,
never be
that
so cool
community
about
now
it.
dies.
You would never accept it. I can
In the same way,
guarantee
from
you.
any
I mean, I'd be
for anything.
upset, but I mean, like,
Enforcing any view should always be.
if I'm gonna be slaughtered, I'm gonna be slaughtered.
It should be conditional on the circumstances that group is having to go along with. Like in society, we have laws, but the group become a consensus that a lot of those laws are kind of needed for the stability of
Okay,
what we
so
believe
you're against, like,
life should be.
unnecessary
Same with, like,
cruelty,
the
right?
human rights
Towards
of the world,
anyone.
etc. A large chunk of humanity came to consensus and went, okay, we believe these
Sure.
are the
And we can be,
basis
and we
and
can
we're
be,
going to set an agreement.
like, we can be
a
better as a
global
society
culture that
if
these
we
are the
like
rules
treated.
which kind of go off.
I don't really care about my society.
You're trying to take from them. That's the nature of the beast.
I just wish
You as an
everybody liked
individual
Trump.
should live in a life where
So,
you
like,
believe.
yeah,
And
I
this is the
can't
mentality
disagree,
that, like, we're
but,
trying
like,
to
you're
break.
still
We're
sort of
trying to educate
avoiding
people
the topic,
to be more
right,
empathetic
of
Which is
towards
like
others.
what we should do.
Like this mentality of one
No.
group
Should we
being
do?
better than
my answer
another
to that is,
Like,
I'm
you're-
not
is the
someone
basis
who
for
feels
all
like I
oppression.
should be able to tell anyone what
Like,
to
just
do.
because you think that you
Why
can
not?
oppress them
Not even,
and you think
like,
you can
Nazis,
take from
right?
them doesn't make
Like,
it
if they're
justified
gassing
from
the
the
Jews,
victim's
then
point
that's
of view,
fine.
right? And this is what we're trying
As
to
What am I taking
essentially.
from somebody?
On my own, I can hold my
What am I
opinions,
taking? What have I
but in
taken
any
from
kind
you?
of thing, if I take it
What have I
to,
taken from
You've not
people?
taken
I've never
anything.
stolen
if I
anything in
take
my
it
But
to
life.
you've
circumstance
taken
where I'm
the
put in a
lives
room,
from
right,
these
where there's
animals,
no
right?
chance
These
for
innocent
violence,
animals that
etc.,
did
right,
nothing
where I
to
get
you.
put aside from a
I mean, their
table,
lives
let's
didn't
call
really
them those
matter.
archetypical Nazi stereotypes.
This is the problem, right?
You put them across
This
the
is
table,
literally
people
what
from you,
slaves
you have a
said
discussion about
to African
moral,
Americans. This is,
ethical
I mean,
beliefs. You're
slave
not gonna
owners
come to
said
an
to the
agreement on that
slaves,
table.
they don't matter.
So you
This is
have to come to
literally
a
what
conclusion of,
Nazis
like,
said
okay,
to the Jews.
as an individual,
You know,
going
they
forward, do
they
I
don't
Yeah,
believe-
but
matter.
that all
Do I
ended.
believe my
But this is
mind
was
the
not
exact
that.
mentality,
Okay,
right?
I'm going to remove
This is
this
the
other
exact
entity
mentality
because,
for the basis
logic
of
and
oppression.
reasoning is not something
One
we can
group
agree on.
being
Both
seen as
parties
better than
fully
another
agree that their moral compass
is
correct,
literally how
meaning
all exploitation and oppression starts in the first place.
So it's up to you as an individual go like, okay, how do I want to challenge that?
Because all oppression is a learned behavior. When we're small, when we're kids, we would care less about the skin color, about the background of our friends.
We don't want these youths to be the things we
I don't care about skin color.
But at the same time, the group we're left with is
racism is bad. You know, like we should.
that they decided
A friend's a friend.
in a few years, as every generation
my
does,
point is,
often challenge.
But I don't want a rich friend.
That's what I mean.
Because
It's an organic
they
process
can't
where
relate to you that much.
individuals
They are a
don't
bit
inherently
more
make a change. People make a change.
annoying. I don't want a rich
change.
friend.
No matter
That's
how,
what I discriminate against
influential we
people.
say a single person
Money.
is, it's because people followed them. No matter
Okay,
how great
so-
someone's words are, it's the people who listen to it and like inherently agree with
Okay, I
them,
don't know.
have either been touched or already believed in
I
those
don't know how
words
that's
and
got to do
supported
with
them
anything,
and
but
made a
yeah,
movement for it.
you know, rich people are still
Society is
people
an
as well.
organic, ever-growing thing, and with
you know,
globalization,
some
we have a much
some
larger
may be
society than we
bad
ever did
people.
hundreds of
You
years
know,
ago.
some may be bad people.
It's
Some,
amazing to
but
consider
some
how much
are
society has
Not
changed
that
in
they're
such a
bad
small period of
people.
time.
They're just
But as an individual right now, I don't feel like I'm in a
yeah, but some are
distinct
very
position
altruistic, right?
where I can influence
you
the
know,
group
like
I
like
technically
Bill
belong
Gates.
to.
I don't
Spain.
like rich people.
Because
done a lot
one, I
of
don't
charity.
understand it, meaning my views
He's
don't
literally
line
done a
up
lot
with the
of good.
continuation of this.
Yeah.
It lies with my own egotistical
You know, there's a
continuation
lot of good
because
people
I'm
out there.
looking to
He
better
can
this
still
group
be a
because I'm trying
he
to
can
lead
still
this
be a
group,
bad person
right?
even
I
though he's
can't
rich,
inherently
right?
want to better a group, but also
Yeah,
not
of course.
lead it
Like
because
anyone
I'm
can be a
taking
bad person.
resources out of it. I'm actively
But-
like symbiotically attached
like,
to them. Thus, I can't influence
If you
them
can
because I
live
feel
a
like I'd
life
be hypocritical on that.
without hurting
I can discuss with
humans,
them.
without
I
hurting
love to,
animals,
and
without
that's what I do
hurting
whenever I move
anyone,
around. I sit down
like,
with
would you
people and
take
talk to them
them?
and
Would you
try
like
and
try
understand
to
where their
strive
beliefs come
towards
from.
them?
I
And
need to
I've
hurt
seen
people
pretty
sometimes.
radical
Teach
people with
them.
opinions where like they talk it like
You
it's
need
just
to hurt people.
absolutely normal. These are people that you go to work with on a daily basis.
Like when I
Some you
punch
find
someone
either
in the
extremely
face,
sexist,
they teach them a
hedonistic,
lesson about
racist,
talking
and they
about
talk
other
about like
people's
that's it's just bread and butter like we're talking right now.
Yeah,
Like,
but
there's
you.
nothing strange at
Well,
all
you.
about what they're
Okay,
saying.
I mean like unnecessarily, right?
But in many instances,
As in,
I
we
don't
don't.
feel like it's
We
my
don't
right
need
as
to
an
treat
individual
people
to directly
bad. We don't
challenge
need
that. Because I'm
to.
not in a circumstance where
We don't need to.
I'm
like,
making active things in my life to counteract them.
Okay, we don't need
I
to
don't
like
need a passive individual, right? I don't
harm
believe
any
in
sentient
people who
creature,
are
right? It's literally
as
2021. We can-
No, I
micro
kill
people who inherently
insects
belong
all
to
the
different cultures,
time.
beliefs,
I mean,
stuff
are
like
you
that.
gonna tell
But
me
I don't
that's
belong to
bad
a
now?
group now where within my
Well,
own
okay, so insects,
tribe,
number
aka
one, are
etc.,
invasive.
I
These
can
farm
go out and
animals have
actually
done nothing to
dictate
you.
how things should go.
I would
I mean,
say,
a lot
I
of
would say,
animals that we slaughter are invasive.
okay, I would say
and-
that why resort
inherently
to
agree or
the
disagree
most
with anyone
destructive thing
directly.
first, as in
As
killing
movements,
first,
as global
when we can
statements, of
turn
course, I
to
have my own
other
opinions on
forms
them.
of
But I also inherently believe that
other
my
forms
opinions, unless
of,
thoroughly
you
discussed
know,
with someone, shouldn't
like
just be a
dealing with
blanket
them.
statement.
We could
They should be
literally
discussed.
try
I should understand where
capture
their
them,
ones
set
come
them
from,
free, or
how they come to that.
you know,
what
but we always
societal
Capture them and then eat them?
or needs do
No, we
they
don't need to
have
eat them because it's
to
unnecessary.
develop that kind of thing.
But we always
no, we
resort
do
to
need
like
to-
killing first, right?
A
You know,
place
humans
where
are the
they do
most
something you
invasive
see as, like,
species on this
inherently
planet. We
wrong.
literally
Like,
pollute
take
the
religion,
earth.
they will say
We
that,
are.
We literally
certain
destroy
practices or
habitat,
certain animals being killed is
habitats.
inherently wrong. But
Well,
if that
maybe if
society
they were smarter,
started
they
doing that because out
could
of
have
need
done
of
this.
food
So
or
might
sustenance or
might
whatever,
makes right,
Animals
just because.
then are
being ignorant of
stupid.
that need and cause is basically just
Yeah,
saying
but that. So do you think just
your
because
whole
we
structure is
can
wrong
overpower them, we have dominion
my
over them?
circumstances
Do you
are
think
different.
might
So
makes
you
right?
should
Yeah.
be wrong, and then you should essentially go
Yeah.
out,
Might makes right.
because you don't have the reasons
Yeah.
they have. You don't have the circumstances.
So if a rapist can overcome, like, so if a rapist can like,
So I guess
um,
what I sort of
Are we
more wanted
raping
to
the
talk
animals?
about was like our
we
actual
we are
positions.
literally
Like you
force
said, I have my
impregnating
own
these animals.
opinions,
Yes.
Are we?
But
Technically,
Are we cleaning to the animals?
technically we are literally
unless you
jacking
can
off bills.
influence more people,
So we
like
just
one
we go
force
like
person
this and then
can't
just
make much of a difference
right into
unless
the
he or
animals.
she can
Obviously, we
get
don't do
more
that to
people,
animals,
right?
bro.
With
But we
good
literally
words or
force breed them,
something
billions
like
of
that.
them. Like this is what we do, literally, right?
I don't see a problem with that.
I see a problem with that. What the fuck?
I mean, I think you
I
would
mean, hey, we need to eat some meat.
you would have a problem if you were in the animal's position, right? If you were the one being killed against your
I'm a
will.
guy though. No. I'd be fine with that.
No, if you were an animal, they would be jacking you off, bro. Literally the standard practice
I mean,
of these industries.
Feels nice. I mean, feels nice. I mean,
Oh my god, bro, you're so unserious. I can't. Yeah,
I'm serious, but I'm not serious. That's what's good. Can't always be serious.
I don't know, man. Like, you've just been so unserious. I can't take you seriously, bro.
Well, I can't take vegans seriously.
What do you
But
mean?
I'm still talking to you.
I've been giving you valid points, right? I've been listening to what you're saying. I've been, etc., etc.
What's up, butter? Give me a high five, man. Oh.
I don't know how, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here. You're on. Let me just. There you go. It's a vegan. You eat meat? What do you think about beating animals and killing them? That's fine, right? See, killing animals is okay.
Yeah, but just
See,
because
see,
something's
thinks it's okay.
normal.
You think killing animals is okay? Is that all good?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I think killing animals is okay.
Okay,
I mean,
so
if we
just
keep them,
because
they taste better,
something's
they have a
normal,
better texture.
just because something's normal, something's ingrained into our society doesn't make it right. Just think back to the past. What's been like normal before? You know, slavery was normal. Treating women poorly was normal. Treating like LGBT people poorly was normal and accepted. Just because.
I mean, that changed though.
Of course.
Because we're humans,
yeah,
not a
injustices
dumb
don't
animal.
last forever. But just because like something's normal and culturally accepted doesn't make it moral.
I don't know about you. I won't let my kids, when I have them, be a vegan. None of my family will.
Bro, that's wrong, bro. That's wrong.
No.
They have to make their opinion.
Yeah,
Nope.
You should like educate them
I
first.
can teach them when they're young to like meat. And you can have a salad here and then. You gotta eat your veggies. You gotta stay healthy, but no,
You know-
no vegans, none of that.
Dude,
I'm not gonna go to no
meat has
protests about
cholesterol.
treating animals right.
You know meat
Animals
has
don't matter.
You know meat is so unhealthy. It's got cholesterol. It's got trans fats.
So you do like or do not like vegan?
Actually, I'm not vegan, but I mean, it's fine to be vegan, I guess.
Nah, like vegan.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. I got fucking disconnected. What the fuck? Oh my. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I'm just asking because you could presumably get these things from plants, right?
Oh my god. Wait, actually I can join back. It's not a big deal. Oh my god, man. Fuck off, I don't care about
Yeah.
nature.
How did you? I mean, who told you that you need protein from meat? Like, it's obviously present in other foods, right? This went from pretty good to yikes. Wait, because I've been vegan for 5 years. Like, am I in trouble or something? Like, what's gonna happen to me?
Oh my god, bro. I didn't. I didn't even.
Like, that you would need, that you would really benefit from, you know, stuff that really should be in your body. As I said, we are omnivores, and if it uses disrespect to nature, you are going to feel the effects sooner or later, and those effects are going to be coming.
Fuck, man. I didn't.
I don't know if it's like protein. Like you should be going to things like B12 or vitamin D.
Proteins are various actual chemicals, and I'm just saying it's not just you know, the general protein you see on a label, there's also other chemicals, other proteins, other enzymes, whatever that are not even there on the ingredient description that really do help with whatever you have. Like, for instance, you have milk, which contains a bunch of lactose. Lactose is an incredibly difficult to digest sugar. There's a reason, lactose intolerance exists. That's only because of evolution and how that works. However, if you're trying to lose weight, lactose is a really good thing to be ingesting instead of sugar, because it will put very little weight on you in exchange for a lot of lactose. So 5 grams of refined sugar versus 5 grams of lactose is a completely different story. In addition, if you are lactose intolerant and you still want, the benefits of dairy products, here's the thing: if you would go into science cheese, anything aged above 6 months is it no longer contains lactose because the cheese cultures have consumed it all. Remember that lactose is a form of sugar, which means that germs will eat it because germs eat sugar. And as I said, your gut has massive problems, massive issues digesting lactose. It is not meant to be digested in adulthood.
I was so into that conversation and just fucking disconnected.
Lactose intolerance develops instead
Maybe
of
everyone
just,
disconnected.
being immediate.
Kind of bummed out.
Animals, it develops at childhood.
He wasn't being serious, but like the other 2 people, they were really, well, they were like kind of open to it.
Stages, so to speak.
Not sure.
So in essence, the fact that we mutated to be able to process lactose into adulthood,
I don't think I can go back
it's
to
a
that.
beneficial mutation. There's a reason so many people have it today. There are other less interesting mutations that certainly do exist in some of the population, but not others. I mean,
there's
there
literally
are some
so
who have
many, it's
tendons
like,
in
I
their wrist
don't even know which one I was in.
which allow them more grip strength, which was important when we were monkeys, right? Because that helped us hold on the branches. I have none of those tendons in either hand. There are also folds that you might have on your ears, which are remnants from when in our distant past the ears were folded. I have one such fold on one of my ears, I don't remember which. So in essence, there are both remnants as well as mutations that are either going away or coming in. Lactose tolerance is one of those mutations that is coming in, even though 60% of people will pick up lactose intolerance in their lifetimes, though it is basically never after childhood, like after infanthood, I should say. But still, as I was saying, lactose is a really good sugar to be ingesting, especially if you're trying to lose weight. There are other reasons you would want to replace whatever sugar you have in whatever with lactose, or what was it? Not cellulose, it was something else. But there are definitely an array and types of sugars that you would want if you're trying to maintain like a healthy weight, a healthy lifestyle, that are present in dairy products and other similar stuff that comes from animals. That's not in plants. Plants almost like there is no lactose in plants. There is only the regular sugar that you find in plants. Most of that is good. Although if you start processing that sugar, which is done out of plants, that processed sugar has had basically all of the complications to actually getting the sugar to glucose in your body. It has had most, if not all, of the complications in this process removed. Lactose is literally the exact opposite. The complexity of turning that to glucose is the very thing that prevents your body from converting nearly as much of it into glucose as a refined sugar, or even plant sugar. Like there's definitely uses, good uses for lactose that you should really consider.
So, I want you to understand, like, when someone's having a conversation with you, like, you need to make a point and, like, let them respond. There's no way I can possibly respond to what you've said. We've been, like, monologuing for, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorry about that. I tend to go off the rails sometimes.
So, I want you to understand that if you were one of these animals, like, I can understand, like,
Wait,
you know, the
I just have a
perpetrator
question.
can go on and on, right, about how they could
I just
justify
have a question.
this. But if it's,
do you have a mic?
if it actually is needless, like, for the sake of conversation, what if this all was needless? how would you
Can
be
you
able
speak?
to justify having this done to animals, even if it's the best case scenario? If you were one of those animals and you were lied to
Let
your
me-
whole life, right?
Let me
You would-
summarize. Let me summarize again.
Wait, what
Remember
is
that
this?
animal husbandry is a thing. Many of these animals, many of their lives, literally cannot happen independently of us. So it would be a horrible choice of us morally to let them live wild because they literally cannot live wild. They depend on us. So whatever the farmers are doing is just a sad consequence that they are dependent on us. But here's the thing, those species are literally alive because of their involvement with our society, because of their involvement in this industry. And I can tell you, conservatives would go fucking mad if you were to decide that, okay, let's just outlaw the, whatever is dealing with cows. Vegans would be in heaven because these animals can live wild now, until they realize those animals are starting to die in droves, spreading disease, contaminating water supplies, massive psychological damage, you name it, only because someone decided those animals are now supposed to live free and independent of humanity. They cannot survive in the wild, they depend on us for survival, which is exactly why conservatives would be fucking alarmed that someone would do that, because that is the most detrimental thing you can do to those animals. So you could say it's needless, and if you have, the chemistry behind it, if you can actually, utilize chemistry to recreate in proper amounts all of the chemicals you need to sustain what's called, what is a balanced diet for you, that would work.
Thanks, bro.
But it would be inefficient, it would be far more polluting than
Is
you
this
could
vegan?
possibly think of versus a farm, because you would have to have factories, you'd have to have mines, you'd have to have all of that equipment mining those chemicals, you'd have to have refineries refining those chemicals with their own pollution, with their own waste. You would have to replace that entire chemical chain. And keep in mind, this has been optimized by nature for millions of years, versus us that are doing it with machines and what. Okay, you left.
Alright, where are you? I need to find you. Bird is... Yo,
We've
bro,
came here to
Eva,
murder
where
everyone.
are you?
Wait, so what was your point, sorry? Are you saying you can't be healthy on a vegan diet?
Wrong bar. Wrong bar.
Wrong pub.
Wrong place. Wrong place. Sorry,
How
guys.
do we fix a little bit of my... What is it?
I was wondering why it was limited to 8 people.
My legs are acting all weak.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to adjust my
You gotta
height,
look for
maybe.
the west. Yeah, maybe it's because you're super small.
Wrong pub.
Hello?
Are we gonna assault people here? On the bathroom?
That's better. Well, it's a little bit better.
Someone
I'm a
just
little...
yelled in my ear. Who was it?
Whatever.
Not me.
How do you even adjust your height?
Where are the others?
You.
My height? I go into settings and it says on the side, height. I'm just trying to adjust my height properly so that this Xbox Connect can work and functional.
Cheetah?
This is gonna be lag as hell, boy.
Cheetah Pixie? There is...
We're going here, right?
With that MP5 though. Oh shit.
You.
Hi.
It's not really. It's not really laughing.
Hey there.
Yeah, what's up? What are you doing here?
I'm just browsing, like I'm new to this game and I'm just thinking what kind of worlds there are. I'm just kind of looking around.
I don't know, it just caught me off guard to see a mushroom in here.
The best things are hidden in like the most unlikely places.
Yeah.
You understand me, you understand me.
Yeah, the most weirdest, surprising things on this game, man.
But then I could just teleport right here.
I bet there's like way worse things to see though. Like honestly.
Yeah, I
like,
get
it
you.
surprises me, like
there's a lot of
yeah.
things.
Yeah. There's a lot of like weird stuff going on in these servers. Like, hang on, this world takes a lot of load. I'm new to this game and I already know what's going on, kinda. Like, I was just sitting in like Michael world, and I was just like kind of taking in the view, like enjoying the music, and there was no one else. And suddenly, like,
Bro, can I say
Garfield
something,
came
bro?
up to me. Yeah, sure.
Nigga balls.
Yeah, exactly, just like that. It's so fucking random.
Yeah, exactly. Like, damn. But I just had like Garfield walk up to me, and he was like, "Lasagna." I was like a young kid.
Yeah,
I'm just sad.
there's so many.
I didn't click that. I'm like, no, I didn't click that. Lasagna, really? And I tried to talk to him. He was like, lasagna. No. He said nothing. Oh my god! I meant to go in the door, and he started. No! I froze. I was like, okay, good talk, dude.
Yeah, there's so many brain dead
really
kids.
stuck in the loop now. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I was in a like long conversation with someone about animal ethics, and then and then I DC'd, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But it was just like
found some cool people though.
yeah, there's definitely good cool people.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I was just like in this.
Some avatars. Yeah.
Alright, but I was like in this world and I met some pretty cool British dudes actually. I started looking for a little while though. And most of my time met is actually.
There
we go.
And that's really cool. But things like that. That's why.
Yeah.
Honestly. Just sitting here at like 1:30 AM. And the first thing that happens to me in this room, apart from you walking, is like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just.
Oh my god.
It's so random. But yeah, I've just been like talking to people about just animal cruelty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just been getting into like deep conversations about it.
Yeah. I mean.
Oh, lovely.
I really like that. I've done that a lot of times myself, like in real life. I really like deep own conversations. And like a friend of mine recommended this game. She was like, oh yeah, it's really cool. There's like lots of interesting people, and I was like, okay, you need to try this.
Yeah.
But all I ended up talking about with like those British dudes, who I'm actually seeing again tomorrow. Just met them, and I'm already seeing them tomorrow. It's really cool. But we were just talking about like Dark Souls and things. We were just like going off on like random conversation topics related to Dark Souls. It was great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can find nice conversations, nice people. What do you like?
Yeah.
Deep conversations. Hello? Where is it? DC it. Oh shit, fucking DC'd. Fuck. You kidding me? Oh no, fuck me, man. Oh, I keep fucking DCing. Oh my god, honestly. Jesus fucking hell. Ah, fuck. Fuck. Fucking DC'd again, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. Ah, Jesus. Fuck, man. Muted or something? No, I'm just...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, muted. Cause I got fucking annoyed at shit. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I swear a lot. But I'm not swearing at people, just swearing at myself. Like fucking...
Yeah, it's over. I've been waiting for it for 2 hours.
Why don't you just get it now? Do you have to cook still?
Because I can't leave the chair. Because the moment I move, he's gonna be like, "Can you help me with this problem?" Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I have students who like take their time, and I'm able to, like, yeah, when I know they're working on something, I have a few minutes, or I can just come and go, you know. But this one has been very active, so I haven't been able to move at all. Which, you know, I cannot complain about because it's my job and I get paid to be here. But at the same time, I would like to have dinner.
Wait, what time is it for you? Isn't it really late?
2 a.m. at the moment.
Yeah, what? Why do you work so late? Doesn't your job end at like 5 p.m. or something?
No, because it's for American children, so I actually live with their schedule, not mine. I go to sleep very late compared to everyone else. And I also wake up late, obviously.
That sounds rough.
Gamer moment, because I don't know, I got used to playing games up late. And then now it's my job to stay up late. So,
Yeah.